What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. My name is Him the God, and today I have a very special guest in the building. Today we're gonna be doing an interview with Fred. So, what's up, Fred?
Good evening, man. Really is a pleasure to be here. Been
Yeah.
been a long time coming. Something we've spoken about for many years.
For many years, man. Look at you, Fred. Look
Yeah.
at your HP. 250,000 HP is crazy, man. That's crazy. Here, let me check out your armor really quick, cause it's pretty
Okay.
cool.
I mean, I kind of I'm one of those in co-op that switches. I switch my sets all the time depending on what I'm hunting. I switch between three sets.
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean,
some people just have one set and just target, but yeah, I'm always flicking between three sets.
that one makes sense. You got like legendary items, all fire, probably for your firewall and firing, which is pretty cool. The only thing I notice is your collar is not the legendary fire one. Why is that?
On this set, I've got the collar and the artifact as electric, actually, and both items I really like a lot. But it also works well to cross over with other sets, for a fire set and to have an ice set that has the same
I mean,
collar and artifact.
it makes sense, but like, don't you want to have like that extra bonus, right? Like, when you have like four armors, five, six armor, it gives you that extra percent. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm
Yeah.
running four, so I get the small bonus. Personally, I find the bonus you get from the five or six items can be offset by the benefits of increased better resistances by mixing armor.
That's
So
cool.
I'm never really going to be one that runs all six items because I think it offers weakness as much as benefits.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right. Well,
Yeah,
here.
you'll see my armor change as we move around the map.
Oh wow. So you actually change your armor as like you use different skills? Is that what it is?
Different skills, different armor between animals. I'm changing. Like I'll literally go right from my fire set and then just, gosh, there we go. I'm on my ice set now. Here we go.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You want to start off with that champ? Big champ?
Yeah, you know what? Let's go to the big champ really quick.
Let's go.
What kind of champ is it? I didn't even see on the chat. Oh, it's one of those Philippine eagles. Oh, I hate those.
Little snack. That's a good champ for people though. They don't come across that often.
Yeah. Oh, that thing's already halfway dead.
Yeah, that's
All
I
right.
do love a champ, but it's mostly for book. But my book here on this map is finished.
No way.
So
You're
I'm
100% here?
just holding. On this map, yeah, 100. One, two, and this one, 100.
Dude,
Working the others, I try to do a bit each week.
I've never seen a hunting book so high. 93%? That's
There's a few.
crazy.
I think I'm probably 10, top 12, something like that. But there's definitely this guy's keen. There's a few higher out there. If you want to check out the rankings, I know Saint. I think rank 4 is these 97%.
Rank 4 is 97? Let me see. Let me check it out. I haven't
Well, this
been online, so let's
this
see.
guy's keen. He's dancing for me.
Crush. He's the alpha of crazy cooperators. He's only 68%, bro. And then let's see.
No, are you on local?
Oh, I'm
Talking
local. Global. Alright, global is Saint from Legendary K9. 97%. That's crazy, bro.
Hardcore. I'm envious. Yeah.
Imagine when I wonder what happens when you get to 100%.
I'm just gonna try and open your stream live. So let me see if I can do this quickly.
Yeah. So here, I'm gonna read some of the chat. So Problematic is in the chat.
Yeah.
What's up, Problem? Welcome to the stream. Steven's in the building. What's up, Steven? Welcome to the stream. Ocean's in here. What's up? SAR's in here. She said, "Let's go, Big Fred." Uh, El Gato. So you know El Gato, right? Uh, he said, "Ayo," and then Jenny Jones said, "What's up, hey Fred?" Cool.
I'm trying to get on there as well, man. I can't. Honestly, me with tech, old people in tech's not good. I can't tear up and turn my YouTube volume down and keep you on Discord. Let me see.
Oh, you're trying to do it on the same device?
Yeah, I want to mute so that I can read.
Nice.
Yeah, might not be able to. I might have to rely on you.
Czar said he's a guy.
For me.
Sorry, Czar. I didn't know you were a guy. I swear I knew a girl named Czar, so that's why I was like, assumed. Dynasty's in the building. What's up, Dynasty? Welcome to the stream. How are you? Guys, by the way, chat, I'm super sick. Like, super, super sick. The only reason...
I'm not going to read, man. I'm going to rely on you because I've closed YouTube, so we don't have any feedback.
Yeah? Alright.
I know I've got some friends that have joined because I asked them to come and offer support, so I say thanks to those guys dropping in.
Yeah. Oh, they could hear you.
That's appreciated. Hopefully a few more drop in as well.
Yeah.
So
here.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Yeah, here. I'm gonna follow you around, Fred. And as I follow you around, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, some of those questions, they're pretty basic, but it's for the people who don't know, right? So first question is, how long have you been playing the Wolf, bro?
How old is the game? I forget. What did it celebrate this year?
I think it was
8 years or 9 years?
Is it? No way. Has it been that long?
It's something like that. When the game started, I think in whichever year it was, the game started in the January or the February. I think I started playing in the November. The game was about 9 months old, I think, when I started, which probably pushing 8 years.
Yeah. What was the maps that were out at the time?
No, there was only one map.
There was only one map, Green Hills.
There was just Green Hills. You know, there was no friend list. There was no. There was only local chat in the rooms. You had to bounce around the room to find people you knew.
That sucks.
There was. I think you had different Android server and full servers, 2 different games almost. I don't know. It was crazy. That was. I know a lot of people still play from that era, and the game has developed so much.
Bro, you slayed those things like nothing, bro. And you still got like half of your HP.
You know, when I didn't use a hero either. Co-op a lot. I'm not the most social co-opper in general. I don't sort of run in groups, so I'm kind of used to killing things alone. But these are a bit of a beast. These are with no skill. But yeah, feel free. Just tuck in as well, man.
Yeah. I mean, I just like enjoying watching you, man. Plus I'm lazy.
But yeah, so it's going to be about 8 years, I guess. Maybe it's 8 years now. This sort of November, December time.
Yeah. Here, what made you start playing the game?
That I can't really tell you. I do like a lot of people. I do like wolves. I've got wolf tattoos. I think it was just one of those things when you're sort of doom scrolling around on your phone of a night, you open the app store, something opens up, like, you know, something catches your attention, download it, try it.
Yeah.
I remember I played the game for a week before I eventually took the tip to sign up an email address.
Okay.
I think Fred is Batman was my first name.
Fred is Batman.
I started off and sort of went through a phase of being Fred is something. I'm sure some of the listeners out there have got some ruder names for that, but Yeah, it'd be, Fred is Batman, Fred is angry, Fred is whatever. I just used to change it each day. Um, but yeah, it was tough. I think newer players don't realise how that um, how the era was tough. It was to grow. You didn't see a million score back then. Like I can remember one guy who turned out to be a modder or a cheater anyway. I remember seeing him for the first time, like a million score, and he'd obviously been in co-op like all day. That was the sort of work you had to put in back then to get what you can get in a few minutes. Nowadays, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, especially in Grinning Hills, trying to get a million. Yeah.
It was, and some of the older people will remember that it was the big animals back then in Green Hills was white rhino, white tiger, um, the muskox, and to kill the muskox, you needed someone to run in a circle with the muskox chasing them. I don't know if you've ever seen that technique, like one wolf running in a circle with everybody else biting it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's like you have to do that when you're a pup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you kind of had to do. Um, the white tigers were brutal. Like sometimes you didn't even want to be near them, and they one shot you, literally one bite. They was brutal.
Yeah, I feel like the white tigers are like the animals that are like any map you go to, they're like pretty strong.
Yeah, tigers in general, the different tigers in the game have always been pretty strong. I remember back then you probably had the first, when I started, first person in game who was, I suppose, infamous or famous. The first real big hitter was, I think she was German lady or girl. Name was Menusa, and she was the first ink, as we call them. Like she was huge. She was the first wolf that hit 20k, which was a monster back then.
Yeah.
12, 13k was big, and she was 20k. Probably 6, 7, 8, 9 months, even a year before anybody else got there. And so she was the person that I sort of used to look at and be like, okay, I want to be that big one day.
Yeah. So like,
Oh man, I'm already alpha.
so I think like back in the days, like it was like 350 max attack, right?
300.
300,
300
right?
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, 300 attack, 300 health. Those last three levels were all the same. Were all the same price. 298, 299, 300. I think it was 214.7 million each. And I remember when I was trying to max attack then that one of those levels used to take, to get 214 million coins, you were looking at like 2 months of co-op to do that. And now you can get that in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
These people in this room are going to get irritated at me not porting for them as alpha.
Oh, you're alpha already? That's crazy.
I'm alpha already, but so if you see the score, I've got 281,000. I'm running a 50% penalty right now, sharing penalty, which I'm happy to talk about.
So penalty
So
also.
my actual score without penalty, I'd be pushing 560k.
So your score also is affected by the penalty?
Well, that's where the deduction comes from. So the animals effectively give you, the animals effectively give you half what they would if you weren't on penalty. That's if you got the 50. Oh yeah, that's the champion.
Yeah.
Call it. Yeah, effectively, it's just you generate the coins at half rate, and that's if you've got 50% penalty. They can up it to 90%, which I've had recently, thanks to sitting in horrendous queues for domination. 30 minutes to get one game, and that week I've got a 90% penalty, which makes it kind of pointless to even play.
Yeah, 90% penalty is crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
wait, so how do you get penalty? Like, how does it happen?
to understand it more. I'm sure there are people that do get it more, but effectively, if you share and then seem to go above a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of coins across a week, that they hit you with the penalty. It's a strange system. It's one that I'm not massively in favour of for a bunch of reasons, not just because it affects me. There's probably people it affects a lot more. But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like a fair system.
All right. I mean, so then, like, what do you think would be fair?
Well, I think I don't know if hypocritical is the right word, but if we talk about the developers or Rage Quit as a group, okay, they say, okay, you're not allowed to share, and if you share, well, they know sharing goes on. I think everybody knows that most walls are shared, not just big walls.
Right.
If you look through the rankings, you're going to find very few that aren't shared in some form or the other. So they know it's there, and then they just put a silly kind of okay, well we know you're breaking the rule, but we're just going to punish you on coins. And I think that has, more than ever, that's an issue nowadays, because coins are less important than they've ever been. Like, you don't grow strong from coins anymore. It's armor, right? The game is armor. You need materials, and if you don't have materials and armor, you can co-op and get as many coins and as many attribute levels as you want, but you're not gonna grow.
Look, Hotaro just joined. You know Hotaro?
And that shit. Not really.
No. He's an FU. I know you're like pretty close with FU, but yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Ever as Alpha, Ever's pretty much my best friend in this game, and someone very loyal to me, and someone I talk to a lot about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't think she likes me.
yeah, I know some of the as I said earlier, I think there's a lot of people that don't, pretty much like me. Those of us that speak our mind, we get a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of haters. You've got people saying hello to you as well.
So here.
So if I can, like, if we're going to talk about like the share penalties that we get and stuff, I kind of want to go, and this is sort of what my issue is one of the issues that I've got with the game at the moment. And I don't know if it's something where you don't play massively anymore. It's something that you've seen or that you're aware of, like competitions.
Yeah, like
I don't know if you do them or you have done it.
yeah,
And
like
I've got friends who do this, so I don't. And I'm, some people are going to really disagree with what I've got to say. But there is now, the competitions in the game they're not fair anymore. So there's people in game, people I know and friends who gain what the developers would call like an unfair advantage. Okay, so there's groups, they block rooms, they all make sure that they find top level animals.
right.
You get into the group, they've blocked a room, you get 8 people all sharing a level 99 or a level animal. It's virtually impossible for people to win competitions without doing that. You'll notice, if you do the comps, you'll notice that there's always 1 or 2 in the group that have got like an obscene score, where they've pretty much got 99s on everything, or they will have.
Right.
My issue with that is we get penalised for gaining an unfair advantage in co-op with coins, but nowadays, moons are more important than coins. You need armour, you need materials. To get materials, you need moons to buy chests. And there's people and lots of people, this is not a small thing, there's lots of people who can win 2-3 competitions a week, 200, 300 moons every week. And it's not really an equal playing field. And I've heard so many times people talk about, well, the game should be equal, the game should be fair. This is why you get a share penalty in co-op. The big wars get a share penalty because you co-op too much. But where is it for the competition element? Man, you took a beating.
So
But, some people are going to disagree with me. People that like the comps are good. The comps they're good. They can be great fun on map. Where did you go?
one of my friends joined, and I don't know. I just followed that person because I thought it was you.
Now we go back up.
But I died
So yeah,
also.
look, people people are gonna people are gonna disagree with me, but it's not cheating, but I don't know. It's definitely gaining an advantage, and I don't think competition's created to do that.
Uh,
I might be wrong, but it seems as if some people are funding their wolf purely in these competition groups. It's something that doesn't sit easy with me, that you can say, okay, we're going to target people that want to share and co-op, but not target people that are going to share big competition animals. I don't know. I don't know if you've got a view on it. Maybe you think I'm wrong.
here's my view on it, and this is for like both things you said. So, first of all, the sharing penalty, I disagree with it 100%. Even though I don't share or anything, I don't think that it's fair that, like, I mean, if you want to share, you can share, but obviously it's at your own risk. Whatever happens, if somebody spite bans you or anything, that's your own risk. But I don't think they should penalize you for sharing, just because
I'm going
I
to
don't
take
know.
this down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of watch and stuff like that. So as far as like, yeah, as far as like getting a penalty banned, I mean, losing whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't agree with it. I think that it should just be normal. Like if you actually have a team working on your wolf and they're doing the actual work, then just let them do it. Um, and then as far as competition, there's two things. So first of all, I think whoever does competition, and this is I already know, like what you said. I'm sure everybody knows that. Like, there's a team of people who just really pretty much like spot block the whole room and just co-op all day. They message each other throughout the day. Hey, I found a level 99. Log on. I think that they do this.
Yeah, and
So
it's a hard balance, right? Because it's not just one group and stuff like that. It's a real big thing. It's a huge part of the game.
so here's
And like I say, I just find it a bit contradictory that element can be ignored, but the co-op bit is seen as cheating. Like, you consider cheating and you get a penalty for sharing in co-op, but
yeah. So to
the
be on,
competition stuff.
but to be honest, Fred, if somebody's putting that much time and effort, they deserve number one. They're not doing anything that they're cheating. They're actually working as a team and getting the competition, and winning the competition. And yeah, for somebody that's more of a lone wolf, it sucks. But that's why, they got the 20-minute ones and the 1 hour ones, where it's a little bit easier for somebody like, the all day ones. That's the ones that those people who work in a group, they dominate, right? Because they got all day to do it. They can all do it at the same time or at different time. The 20-minute one, it's a little bit more harder, right?
Yeah, you're right. It is. It can still be done when they hit. They're still waiting, and
Yeah.
it's not. Think like anybody that's big on that um, is going to think that I'm maybe trying to sort them out for winning competitions, and I'm absolutely not. My my issue is that the game thinks something's okay and others not. Like, you try to find an advantage.
I get you. Like,
It's very selective.
so
For
what?
me,
You know
what
what
would
it?
happen if during comp times, if a big animal, it couldn't be shared, if only one person would register the animal, and what happened there? That would give a lot of people a heart attack, right?
Yeah.
If the person that got the kill blow, or the person that did the most damage or something, was the only one that registered the 99, whatever the competition level is, if they was the only ones um, if they was the only ones who got the point, that would instantly kill this whole sort of 8 people all sharing a 99 porcupine.
So so that's what I was gonna actually say. Like I do think that it does need to be calibrated a little bit, right? So like for example, if those people who are winning, kind of like how domination is calibrated with like crowns or whatever. Like the more you win, the higher you. That's kind of how competition should be, right? So like if you're always winning, you're always getting number one. You should be put in competitions with people who are up there on your level. I think that that's how they should
It's
calibrate it.
something that I'd not thought about, but that's technically that sounds like it's quite a good idea as well.
Yeah, just so then
They'd
you're.
all end up tying. They'd all end up tying where they've all got 99 champs
eh,
6 times.
Yeah, exactly. That way, the people
Uh,
who are like working in a team and they're so good at it, they're on the leaderboard with those other good people.
like I don't know if you've done it or if you've been in a room that does it, and I have, and I've benefited in a couple of competitions from it. Comps are not really my thing because I'm only really interested in a comp if it's on 9 or a featured map. Um, don't do a lot, but if you get few people, 2 or 3 people um, boosting the same animal, you're more or less guaranteed. They max boost it. They're more or less guaranteed that a 99 is coming. So
Really?
it's kind of, I don't know. It's like I use that term that's come at me a few times when I've spoken to people like Blue and stuff, and they talk about gaining like an unfair advantage. And I think element of, okay, if you put 4 people and they all boost an animal, a 99 is definitely coming.
Right.
A little bit of it's a bit of a glitch almost. But
Yeah.
your idea of categorizing people into groups, their skill levels for comps is interesting. For me, I'd maybe be more brutal and I would take moons out as a prize for competitions. Okay,
Dude, you.
have your coins, have gems, but no moons.
Dude, people would
But
get so mad over that, bro.
yeah, then they wouldn't, and people are going to hate me even throwing that out there as a suggestion. They're all going to be like, F you, Fred. But it's something where I thought, okay, moons are the most important currency now in the game, and people are manipulating a return on it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what happened too, right? Like the reason why half of these things are happening, like for example, like the sharing, whatever you call that, where you lose. Um, it's because people have been crying about stuff in the game. People are always complaining, and for some reason, the developers, they're, I don't know. So, really, what it is nobody has really complained about the competition. Maybe you have, but like, the way that.
Actually, I only complain to myself when I'm sitting around with nothing else to do, and I sort of it's like I say, it's more so that it's just the fact that okay, so co-opers or sharers get this penalty, and listen, there's people who probably hurt by the sharing penalty a lot more than me because there's people who can in their sharing group can keep their wolf running 24/7, which I don't. I've got one person, and I've shared my wolf for a long time, and I've always kind of tried at my best to keep it that way when I'm sharing.
Okay. So
And
so
that's
you
what
only
I've got now.
you only share with one person?
Yeah, I've got one person, and there's been times when I've had a few others and tried to find the right balance between myself and one other person, but that's it. But I know people who share with 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and they don't get the share penalty. So in my head, I'm trying to sort of work out what actually triggers the share penalty. So the game isn't penalising us for sharing. The game's penalising us for sharing and getting a certain amount of coins or playing a certain amount of time. I don't know exactly.
I,
But I've
I
also
don't know.
seen accounts get a share penalty um, when they've not shared, which is a strange one,
Huh.
and just for being online a long time. Which it shouldn't have. Let this guy gone with his name.
So I've never had that issue, but maybe it's because people use VPN and stuff like that. So, it sees you at one part of the world, and then you go on the other part of the world. They're like, "Oh, you're sharing." Maybe.
Many years ago, when I was playing my account alone, only there was no sharing going on. I received a penalty, and I did have to actually raise it with support and say like, I've not shared.
Did you use different devices?
Yeah, I think that's what it came to, was that I was logging into my own phones, a couple of different devices, and it must have triggered the system.
Okay.
This person wants to join us for a couple of.
Tubbs, she's on YouTube actually. She watches she's on the live stream probably right now. I haven't read any of the live chat yet, but just
It's
because.
cool. I'm down for sharing a few bits.
Yeah. Yeah, here. Let me read some of the live chat, and then here
Yeah, okay.
I got some more questions. Dude, there's way too much going on. All right.
Try to filter out some questions and see what we've got.
All right. So
Or people telling me I'm an idiot for complaining about competition.
a lot of people are just kind of like commenting. Like Jenny, she's like, "Dang, look at him destroy the Chali." So like the Chalicoterium or whatever those things are called. Those are like the ones that people hate the most, right? Because they got ice and fire res. I hate them too, but like I guess.
Yeah, so that's where, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when we do them, I do switch to an electric set. You want an electric set or a
Yeah, you use
or a coiled
electrified.
set.
Yeah, I seen you use electrified.
Electrified is a brilliant skill.
It is. It's.
This is something else that I do when there's a small champ. Like I've got a set with no armor.
Oh, that's nice.
I just take a little bite and stuff. I try to share this stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
For me, as I said, the gem's not that important. I've got a stack of gems. The skills are max. I'm half the book.
Wait, so
Here, even less relevant.
so you want to tell the chat how many gems you got?
Sure, we can. So right now, gems, we stand at 1.156 million gems.
1.5.
156,000.
Oh, a million. So you have a million gems, right? A million.
Yeah.
0.156. That's crazy, bro.
I know we sort of spoke about it offline, but
Yeah.
skills have been maxed for a long time. We haven't had new skills or new levels to skills, which is something I'd be open to. And obviously, with the gems to spend, make those skills another couple of levels on everything. Give us something to target. It would be nice to have something to spend them on. They're a little bit of a dead currency if you've maxed your skills.
I mean, I have a recommendation for you. Why don't you use those gems to buy the epic materials in the shrine?
Don't really need them, man. My materials, my epic materials are full. It's only the legendary materials that are sort of worthwhile for anything.
What you mean? You always need material, bro. Even basic, you need like 6,000 leather just to like upgrade an armor. You know what I mean?
I'll give you an example. If I have a look through my inventory right now, so if I scroll down to the basic, what do you call the basic ones? Common.
Yeah, common. Yeah, common.
Leather. Is it leather? Yeah, leather. I've got 104,000 leather. 200,000 leaves. Like,
Oh wow.
From buying chests and materials, you just end up stockpiling the lower level stuff. So
Okay.
it's not needed, and there'd be no point using the gems to buy coins because it's too much.
Right.
You wouldn't get a lot. You wouldn't get a lot back.
Well, eventually they're gonna come out with something that you're gonna be able to use a gem for. Um,
Yeah,
you.
I think when I'd spoken to I do talk to Blue occasionally, and I think Blue does a good job as a community person, as a go between. We've spoken a lot, and um, we don't always see eye to eye on stuff, and we've had some heated conversations. I think it's a good thing that people don't. Newer people maybe won't remember. Well, they won't remember the time where we didn't have any contact. It was hard to talk to support. Like emails was never answered, and the game changed for the better in that sense. That we've got this support department that do give us answers, even if we're not always happy with them.
Yeah.
And I think it was suggested to me that eventually, one day, a long way down the map, that there may be something else for gems coming. No idea what that is, what it would look like.
Have Have you ever played Evil Lands?
So I haven't. No,
You
I've
haven't.
seen a little bit.
Okay.
People tried to lure me across a few years back,
Well,
and if I've got time for the gaming, I'm probably going to stick it into Wolf.
well, yeah, no, definitely stick to the wolf. The reason why I was asking you is because on Evil Lands, not only did they come out with like new sets of legendary armors like a year back or two, but now they came out with mystic armors, which is like a step higher than legendary armors. Which obviously is gonna is gonna translate to the wolf eventually getting to that point. To be honest, so
Yes, that's something I'm not seeing and I don't know about. Any developments and changes are good. I think for many years we moaned about the game being the same, and they have brought features in that give credit to the development team, and they have brought features in that are quite interesting. Personally, I like the book. There's nothing really gained from doing the book.
I
I
mean
think
you get gems and moonstones.
yeah, tiny little bit. But I think
Yeah.
it's interesting to run through, and I don't know if Eva did join or if she'll listen on maybe at some point. But I think she pretty much created that idea. I remember her talking for a long time about why have we not got like a book of the animals so we can see what we hunt and
Wait, who?
and I think it's good. I had someone mention something to me recently. If I open my book and I look at an animal that I've got maxed out, say here, you'll be shocked at this. If I look at the Charlie, for example,
Yeah.
um, doesn't show. I think it might have to be out of the book. I've killed something like 38,000 Charlies. That's an obscene number. You'd have no idea that you collect that many animals.
It is. I mean, it is a cool factor. So you said, who invented it? Like, who do you think kind of like brought up the idea?
I think Eva pretty
Uh,
much came up with the idea of the book. I heard her touting it for a long time that we need more skins, we need more gameplay, we need different modes. People are bored, and that's why people are so angry. It's the same stuff every day. Like, give us a book of animals and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that idea sort of stemmed from her.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great idea, to be honest. And I think the book is especially good for when you're first starting. Because it makes you like feel like you have other ways to get gems and moonstones and coins. So it helps, the wolves grow and stuff. Because, you know, I know it's probably been a while since you've made a new account, but, you know, growing before and growing now is a lot easier now to grow as a wolf.
Oh, it is. I've got some smaller accounts, and yeah, like I say, back in the day, the fact that, you could. I mean, I'm trying to think. Even at the point when Map 4 was released, because Maps 2, 3, and 4 were all released in one kind of batch of a week or 2 weeks apart. Like they let us know they was all coming together, then stuck with one, and then they all come out. And then at that point, I can remember grinding on war for 5 million coins, like all day, 5-6 million coins, posting it in our, pack in-game didn't exist, but we had kick groups and things, and posting a co-op score of like 5 million, and people being like, oh, wow, the sort of level where the game has changed now. 5 million was a big score. Now you can go in co-op rooms and see people with 30, 40, 50 million scores, if not more. Growing it's a lot easier.
What's the most score you've ever had, at once?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got a screenshots or a record of it. I remember doing then at Legend. I remember doing 3 days solid, like a weekend, like a Friday night for a Saturday and a Sunday, and
3 days.
that was not, yeah, well, 2 and a bit days, like solid with like hardly any rest, like just closing the eyes for like 10 minutes or so. And that was probably my biggest session, but that wouldn't have been the biggest coins. I think maybe for me it would probably be about that 30 million mark recently.
Wait, how much? 30 million?
I'm not one of those people that. Sorry?
You said 30 million?
60 probably.
Oh, 60 million. Okay.
Yeah, it would be around that. I've seen obviously people go higher. I'm not one of those people who stays in a room necessarily. Like, I'm quite happy to nip out and start again, and so I think some of that people just do that for show, and it's not that impressive really. I don't think it's not impressive to open a room and see someone with 100 million. It means they've just not gone anywhere for a while.
Right. Yeah, that's all it means. I mean, you could hop on and off and get just that much, but just maybe take a break in between. By the way, is Czar and Jenny, are they your friend? Czar and Jenny?
So I can't see. I'd love to see the chat. Czar's my bro, yeah, big time. Hello, man. One of my pack members, and someone who, when I came back to Wolf, because I took a break for a couple of years, and I came back just over a year ago. And he was very much key to me sort of understanding armour, how to build my wolf, how to grow. The guy's the guru for armour, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, so shout out to Czar. He said, let's go, Big Fred. And he just gave me a $2 donation, so thank you. And
I'm going to try and get back onto YouTube again.
yeah. And then Jenny Jones, she just said, wow, this is cool, let's go. And she gave also a $2 donation, so appreciate that, thank you.
Wicked. I don't know, maybe if is it a wolf name?
Yeah, I don't know what their wolf name is. Hey, Jenny, what's your wolf name? Prada. You know Prada? She's like, FXR is a great pack. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you, man. So, Ferox has been, it's been just as epic, just as legendary in the game as you have, really, right? Because this is your pack. Why did you join with Rise? Why did you join with Rise? I'm not into the politics or anything, but I was like, dude, Ferox is bad all by itself. Why did you join with Rise? What happened?
Yeah, so this is going to be quite a kind of tough conversation. I don't want to always. I think what Ferox and Ferox has been around for a long time, and in terms of active names and active packs, it's probably the second oldest, because I think obviously you've still got FU, but when I think back to them old days, most of those packs are gone now. So it's been around a long time, but because of the nature of pretty much myself, I've got a lot of, I think haters is the right word. It might be, probably need a word bigger than that, but a lot of people that like me and don't therefore don't like my pack. And I'll give a shout out to some original Ferox members and people that have been with me for a long time who have always stood by my side and have never let that whole sort of attitude of bigger groups and bigger packs who would say target us as a group. They've never kind of said like, oh, do you know what, we only get all this shit because they're after Fred. People have stayed with me, and I find that amazing. I've got some brilliant long-term friends, 6-7 years. But for that reason, I would say Ferox was it's always a smaller group. It just had the focus and attention pretty much because of me. And I think a lot of that comes from my attitude towards hacking and people cheating and trying to get through that. There was a lot of people that wanted to set about me for that. And I think it's great. I take it. These things come together. I take it quite well. If someone's cheated and they're upset that I end up getting them banned or something, good. Love it.
Yeah.
But so ultimately, sort of last year when I'd come back, there was some people that kept Ferox running. With me being away for a long time, and think it to me felt like I owed those people a bit of gratitude for keeping the pack running, but at the same time I needed to do something more, give them more to their gameplay. There was talk of the new mode coming, Domination. I think we expected it a lot sooner than it actually arrived, and in my head I sort of wanted to make sure that people that effectively I look after or was responsible for had could compete in the game and wasn't in a small little group kind of outcast. So it made sense to me at that time to look at an option to merge with another group where it could be beneficial to both, where you end up with a mix of people who co-op, because there's some people that want to co-op all the time, a mix of people where there's some who will PvP, and so I also there was not a huge, there was certain people that I would never pair up with, people and morals that I see in the game that I would never pair up with, and when I got talking to Huntress as alpha of Rise, a shout out to her as my co-alpha now, we just got on very well. I think a lot of our morals and the way that we like to deal with people are very similar, and it seemed like a good partnership for us, a way to compete with some groups that we otherwise couldn't compete with, groups that had hoarded lots of big gold badges, so that was the reason, and people throw that at me sometimes, like, oh, Ferox is dead or this kind of stuff, and
No.
I don't think it is. People can have their view on that. I think it's around, and do you want to take these on together? So if we talk about my skills, this is sort of my limit. Like, I can take on one of these in one go, one set of skills alone, but two becomes like two sets of skills.
Gotcha.
It's pair of them becomes a bit harder. But yeah, so I think part of what I wanted to do was, Ferox is me. To an extent, I've always been Ferox. It's on a tattoo I've got on my body actually as well. But it was about other people. It was about the other people in the Ferox and what we could do for gameplay. We didn't know what Domination was going to be. It was taking a bit of on it.
Okay.
And we've had our ups and downs as a shared pack. We've had some comings and goings of people, but I think overall we've got the best group of people in the game. think we've got sort of some really, really amazing people.
So I think that that's really cool that you did it because it sounds like you did it more for your members than for yourself, and that way you could really have a pack be a pack, you know, and I I feel like it's pretty cool. What does By the way, what does Ferox mean? Like what? I mean, what does it mean? Where
So
did it come from?
Ferox is okay. So Ferox is it's a Latin word.
Okay.
My sort of understanding is that pretty much it's its direct translation would be, as you can see from the word itself, its direct translation would be pretty much like ferocious, like Ferox.
Okay.
Ferocious is a cross between kind of ferocious, savage, or relentless. But that's the Latin word. And remember when we was picking a word that wanted for a pack, I was like, okay, that's a cool word. Let's do the Latin thing. So the full name for Ferox itself is Ferox lupi, which the lupi being for or wolves. So it was kind of ferocious wolves would be the Latin version of the name.
That's cool. That's cool. I think that's
So
cool.
that's
It's pretty original, I like that. See, dude, that's why I don't get involved
and
with.
again,
I keep dying.
I
Oh
was
man.
I was going to say, like, getting back onto the pack bit. FXR now started with the name of I think Huntress as well with her rise element. Neither of us wanted to lose where we'd come from. Neither wanted to lose Ferox or rise, but FXR now it is a pack in its own right now. It's a name. FXR is FXR now.
Yeah, you guys
And I
got
think we're
46 members.
yeah.
Nice.
I think we're going strong, and we always try to recruit, but we try to recruit the right people. We take people over power. That makes sense.
Yeah. Who's
Um,
who's Catherine? How come you have her as the alpha?
Catherine is a long-term Ferox member, and pretty much again someone who I've got a lot of thanks for how she has looked after Ferox in my absence and stuff. She's one of the most stable people in game. Someone that I think is a brilliant person. But we've got, in terms of her having the alpha tag, one, if I'm not around, I would very much consider her the sort of replacement alpha as such for Ferox. But as it came down as simple as myself and Huntress as Rise and Ferox, we didn't want there to be an advantage one way or the other that one of us would have the alpha tag. So we've both got the same level tag. And you'll remember when this was done, we were still feeling each other out as well and learning. And so there was a point of, okay, well, one of us shouldn't be the alpha. We're level. If we're equals in the group. So Catherine took the alpha. I think we both felt comfortable trusting her with the alpha tag, and myself and Huntress take a beta tag. In all fairness, with the group of people that we've got, we don't have to really do anything as alpha. We've got a whole bunch of people who are kind of alphas in disguise as such. People that run the group and look after the group.
Dude, I'm following the wrong person, bro.
I just thought me too. I was following someone and we're head off different direction.
Somebody took your crown, bro. It looks like it's one of your members took your crown, took alpha from you.
Yeah, so I know that he's not got a share penalty.
Yeah.
He's scoring too fast.
Oh.
So if I wasn't on share penalty now, at one point, so I'd have 2.4 million score. It does hurt to an extent, but is that you? Yeah, that's you.
They need it. They should take it off.
I'm used to the share penalty. It's something that I have every week. If it comes too early in the week, it can be quite painful. But if I lose kind of Saturday and a Sunday, it's nothing I can do about it. It's part of the game, right? It's a rule.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, I don't really agree with the share penalty, but it is what it is, you know. But at the same time, too, I don't. I'm in a different kind of competition with other players than you are. You know, like for example, you when you compete with players, you compete for the highest CP, the highest HP, this and that. I'm usually in the small servers where I'm just doing PvP. Well, it used to be. Speaking of that, PvP,
If you're
man.
going to give people, if you're going to give people a share penalty, why not give everybody that shares a penalty? Where's the logic there? It's not necessarily a share penalty. It's a share and you play a lot penalty.
Yeah.
Don't agree with personally, or it's a share penalty because you get a lot of coins.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's true. So here, speaking of PvP, and you know, in your pack, who are your enemies, bro? I know you got some enemies, especially in packs, bro. I see it online, but I want to hear it from you. Who are your enemies, bro?
I think pretty much everybody. I honestly think as a group we seem to be like in terms of the PvP element we're massively disliked. I think a lot of that probably comes again from me. Take it. Some people are really quite triggered, right? There's I take that as a compliment personally. There's there's some groups in the game that we're friendly with, and we do get support with. You know, HBO1 here, and like you said, Prada in the chat and stuff. We're good with these guys. We kind of try to avoid each other in PvP, and that leads to helping each other. But beyond that, I have some personal reasons towards individuals that I won't name. Maybe people that going on here. Some of their choices are not things that stand well in my life, and I actually find it quite sickening when people support them in their pack. You know?
I gotcha.
So yeah, so I avoid those. I try to avoid those packs, and you know, more often than not, they're probably, you know, they're bigger packs in terms of having more big wolves, but people may laugh at this. People might say I'm a little bit bitter or whatever, but I'm going to use the word rats because we use it, but I seem to stick to rats. You know, they've no limited life morals, and all they're interested in is you know, they've judged people by the size of their wolf. It doesn't matter what sort of person they are. It doesn't matter what their views are. If they've got a big wolf, yeah, bring them in the pack. Yeah, they can help me in PvP, and that's something that I've pretty much always tried to avoid my gameplay. If someone's a poor person, it's irrelevant how big their wolf is.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot, dude. I mean, there's a lot of weirdos in the game, man, and I'm sure you know more than me. Yeah.
Yeah, there is, and it's very hard. It's actually hard to compete. You know, big wolves. It's hard to compete with packs that have got, you know, multiple big wolves or multiple golds. It is. You can do it. You can do it by having smart players and good players, but ultimately it is hard. Hard for players that are blue badge or red badge. It's hard for them to compete with gold badges. There's some strong wolves about. You know, there's some strong wolves that make mincemeat of smaller wolves very easily.
Hey, Fred. All right. So here, somebody just. I think they have a question for you, and I gotta make sure I highlight that because they donated $20. So I gotta make sure I don't ignore
yeah,
this.
I really wanted, and if we ever do this again, I'll try and get YouTube on a different device. But I would like to have been reading, but I can't stop the sound coming through, and then I'm hearing too many noises, so I'm not seeing what's going on YouTube. So yeah, just hit me.
All right. So this person's name is 95 John, and I want to say last time I heard of a John, he was like a big wolf or whatever. And he said, "Yeah, you
Yeah.
wanted to bring Rage back in here because his account hypocrite." I don't know. I can't really. I don't know if you want to emphasize on that, John 95 John, but
Listen, I know John. We was friends for a long time. Hi, John. I have John threw his toys about something that didn't happen or hasn't happened. So that's I'm not really sure whether this is the place for it, but I don't mind talking about it. John was in our group and chose to leave because of talk of someone coming back who hasn't come back, and that wasn't. He took something for what it wasn't. He made some assumptions and he threw his toys. And fair enough, he was free to go and then do what he wanted, but he was upset at someone else who was coming back. That was never the conversation. So that was my take on it. We'd had issues with someone previously in the pack who's still got close links to many of our members, and so some of the members were potentially being spoke about of having access to his account, and so the discussion was, well, if people were using his account, would we bring the account back? And the fact is that the person whose account it was very unlikely to have ever been allowed back due to previous issues. So we literally just looked at it. We was looking at it, if the account did become available, if they left the game, would we take it? And as it stood, we wouldn't. The person was still very active and is still friends with many of our members, and so we would, in no circumstances, we wouldn't take it back.
so who's that person? Is it Rage?
Yeah, so Rage was a member of ours, and we had a lot of issues.
I,
There was multiple things, but there was multiple reasons why Rage left the group, and there was never any talk of Rage coming back or being allowed back. And but as I say, there's many people who are friends with Rage, there's people who have had access to his wall for, and I think the conversation started when there was talk of him maybe taking a break and leaving other people his wall.
by the way, John said you're lying, bro. He said you're lying.
Well, I'd like to know what I'm lying about. Listen, there was a group of people. There's a group of FXR people that was in the room when he quit. When he had his tantrum and quit. Talking about us bringing Rage back, which was never ever the conversation in any way. So anybody that's in the FXR GC knows how that conversation went down. John and Rage have had their own issues. I've had my issues with Rage. John had his own issues for a long time with Rage, and that's very much a John and Rage thing. But yeah, there was no. John didn't like the fact that the wolf was even in conversation. All we ever said was that we'll do what's right for the group.
I mean,
John wanted to leave, and he got and he was within his right to leave.
I mean, I met Rage. He's not a very nice person. Do you remember King Zeus? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he used to invite me all the time to help him, which is cool. I didn't mind helping him out. And I remember, dude, Rage, he was not a very nice person. But at the same time, I think he used to let people borrow his account too. So like, you never knew it was online. Do you remember like Russ? I think she was like a member of like ERO or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she used to use his account.
Rage, similar to a lot of us bigger wolves, as the same as had co-opers on his account and shared people on his account. I don't think that's really a problem personally. Like I said, people use whatever tools they want to use to grow their account. But yeah, the rage thing is I've had my own issues with rage, and pretty much they're kind of a little bit dead right now because we don't really communicate. Not on my friends list, they wouldn't be in my pack, but there are pack members in FXR who are still friends with him, and I think we've always had a kind of view that be friends with whoever you want friends with. As long as you ultimately put the pack first, be friends with whoever you like.
All right, so John, I feel like he feels really strongly about this because he's really, really wanting to know. You said in the chat that if his account can help the pack, it will be back, and one person is not going to stop that since I couldn't stop, I left.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But we're talking about his wolf, right? Not him. We was talking about his wolf if he wasn't playing. And that's what we were talking about. If Rage had left the game or was on a break, and Rage's wolf was being used by being co-opted or PvP'd by FXR members, existing members, we said in that situation, if it was right for the group, that we would have took it back, and we wanted to and see if Rage had genuinely left the game or was genuinely on a break. There was no like, oh, it's coming back and stuff like that. It was very much a let's see what kind of happens. He's got a great wolf, right? He has got a great wolf. And if our players were on it, that would be very different. And it pretty much, it was all dead really, really quickly because I think Rage is active in the game. And that was kind of the end of it. John didn't like it even being a conversation, which he's entitled to. Right, he's entitled to not like it. But it was still something that, whether he misunderstood or whether it was just literally just a paddy, just throwing his toys because it was even mentioned, he was free to go. And so there's, on my part, no resentment that he wanted to leave. Not sure it made a great deal of difference. His personal beef with Rage is one that's not of interest to many people.
Gotcha. Do you know
those two have been at it? Those two have been at it for a long time, and both had crossed the line with things that they'd said. They'd put, as a group, they put up in really difficult positions with both crossing the line morally.
What happened? Why are they beefing? Is it like that serious?
I think maybe you want to do an online interview with John or Rage one day and talk about each other. I would suggest you censor it because some of the language they use about each other is a bit strong, and not really. Yeah, weren't really for a pack. It wasn't a great vibe for a pack to have two people using those kind of words about each other.
I gotcha. I mean, to his defense, though, I'm gonna say this though. To his defense, though, his wolf, like, it doesn't matter who uses it. It kind of represents him. You know, that guy Rage. Like, for example, I'm just gonna kind of use an extreme, right? Like an extreme, right? Say there's this guy, right, who like beats on his kids, right, for playing PvP, right? And
yeah, we know.
Yeah,
we know who that is, yeah.
Right, and so now you supposedly, right, you let somebody else is using that account and you let them in the pack. That person still represents that wolf, right? And it's like everyone, even if you know that someone else is using it, everyone else is gonna know or think that you support that guy. You know what I mean? And like,
I agree, kind of. I agree to an extent if that person's. I think when we was considering it at the time, it was if that person was completely inactive. And listen, we had some private conversations as a management group in FXR, which I won't name people or go into depth on it, but we had private conversations about just, you know, how we would watch the account, and I think there was never any. It was very clear to us that if Rage was active on his wolf in any way, even if he was just popping on a daily thing, that it wouldn't be back in FXR, and I think that's been proven by the fact that it's not. You know, it was removed. It was a big, strong wolf. We removed it from the group.
Okay.
So we didn't put keeping him around as a strong wolf. We didn't make that a priority. We removed it from the group some time ago.
Right.
And we wasn't going to allow it back. And we still haven't. And I think that's probably more, that's the proof
Gotcha.
there, is that wolf isn't back in our group. You know?
Okay. No, that makes sense. I mean,
you can almost say it's a bit like, you know, people. What happens when people say they've sold their wolves? And we know there's a huge market for sold wolves.
yeah.
What do you do there? If someone's left the game, sold their wolf, what do you do? Do you link it to that original person all the time?
The problem.
Tell me what you think.
I mean, so the problem is there's a lot of people who'd like do some messed up stuff, and they'll change their name, they'll pretend they're a new person, just so they can get away from, you know, being tied to that. But in reality, it's that same person. You know what I mean? And there's always chances that that's what happens. You know, and
Yeah, but there is. But in that Rage instance, but go back to that wouldn't have been a possibility. We wasn't talking about taking some random person who suddenly said, "Oh, I'm not Rage. I've bought Rage." That wasn't what we was doing. We were talking about existing members who had played it before, and potentially were still going to play the wolf. As to whether it was, if it was again, it was a question of if the account was going to be a benefit to us. If our members were on it, if our members were playing it, and it was solely them, we may being the word, we may have taken it back, but it was just a conversation of May. And I think in the GC at the time, I think the conversation started by us actually confirming that it wasn't happening. People said, oh, you know, is Rage coming back, blah, blah, blah. And I think the whole conversation was no, and it would only ever potentially happen on these circumstances.
gotcha. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. At the
John
end of
didn't like it. John had a few issues with other people in the group as well, pretty much around their friendship with Rage, and I kind of understood that. I was quite supportive of John for a very long time. People wanted to get at him over things, but I think there was a mix of both. John, one, misunderstanding the situation, and then two, just literally throwing his toys because it was a conversation about someone's wolf that he didn't like.
Gotcha. I mean,
Simple as that.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, John, you know, whatever you thought was gonna happen didn't happen, right? For a reason. So, you know, maybe it was a misunderstanding. You know, Johnson, make Ferox great again. So, but yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing him running that up. But yeah, I think I've pretty much said what, you know, it's still the same, but my view on it and the situation we're in as a group is still pretty much the same, and it wouldn't just link to Rage's wolf. It could be anybody's wolf.
Yeah. Okay.
If you know, if someone sold or someone let, you know, if there was a wolf available and that people were using it, I think it's very different if people are using an account. And you say, okay, look, we've got members that are co-oping or PvPing an account, then if it's solely them, I'd still look at bringing them in.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you never brought him back, you know, and so that's good, you know. So maybe, John, bro, you just need to talk to Fred, you know, and figure it out, man, if you want to join Ferox again, bro. It sounds like...
I don't think that's where he's going with the conversation.
Nah. All right. Well, here, we'll leave that alone for a bit, because, you know, I don't want to make it too much about the whole stream about rage and John.
Yeah, that's a bit of a long-winded thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about him. Let's say Rage was basically Rage is an ex-member of FXR. He was an ex-Rise member.
Yeah.
It's
Here.
very much a chapter. It does linger, but yeah, it's not something we should talk about so long.
By the way, dude, I didn't want to cut you off when you told me how many gems you have, but how many moonstones and orbs do you have?
They just get spent. Right now, I've got 5,600 moons, but I'll drop them soon on a few chests when I know what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And orbs, every time you get 100, they just do the wish, right? I'm sitting on 51 at the moment.
Okay. So you got 51
Yeah,
orbs.
I don't save the orbs. Once they're at 100, I do the wish, and there's a couple of items that I'm close on quality to upgrading. And
Well-
so I try to get a... Can't see where you are.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I try to be fair, wishes rarely give you what you need, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. I don't like saving either.
There's no saving in general. We can talk about it. I don't understand saving in general. People who save coin, there's absolutely no logic to saving coins.
Yeah. I mean,
You should buy every level as soon as you can.
that's what I always say.
The math and the practicality tells you that over a long period of time, saving just means you lose out. You know, get that attack level as soon as you can. Get that extra 1 or 2 coins from an animal, maybe because you're stronger.
Right. You struggle longer saving.
I see people when they say like, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to save up 200 million or 2 billion or whatever, depending on the size of the wolf." And it's there's no logic to it. There's no logic to it.
So, what's your highest quality item, that legendary item that you have? Do you have one maxed yet?
On quality, legendary, no. Highest items, there's a couple of them.
I guess quality and level, I guess.
Well, in terms of quality, the highest on legendary items is 8. I've got a couple of those, and then most of the legendary armor I run is, in fact, all the legendary armor I run is level 10.
Level 10? Okay.
It's all level 10 for reinforcement level. That's the word I'm looking for, and they're all 10s. I'm still working on things, but I work and I save on things to give myself, different flexibility to switch sets up, and I do kind of try and plan like what set in PvP or what set in domination would, if I managed to upgrade a different item, what would give me different improved resistance levels, for different enemies that use different skills. Poison as a skill seems to be something that's pretty much dead in the game right now. But I look at finding items that can maybe give me a decent poison set.
Okay.
But yeah, my main 3 sets, the legendary items are maxed out reinforcement in just different quality level.
Gotcha. Damn, so what level is your shrine then? Is it like level 15?
Yeah, Shrine's max.
Oh,
I really know what Shrine does, but it must do something, right? So I got that maxed out, and I'm assuming, probably can't max an item without having max Shrine.
Right.
Some people talk about if you're luckier from having a higher level Shrine, do things drop? Do you get legendary drops quicker or faster? And I don't have the answer to that, but can't be a bad thing. Worst it can be is the same, right? So,
I mean, So it's true. You could buy more materials faster, and then certain levels, like say you wanted level 11, um, legendary items, you'd probably have to have a certain level shrine. And that's really the biggest thing about shrine. Um, I don't think it's
Yeah,
worth
I think
buying. I,
I
I
got my shrine sort of maxed out a long time ago. It was something that I just did and got it done and out of the way and said, okay, it's done, move on, forget about it.
gotcha.
Um,
I don't think it's worth buying legendary items on there because they want you to spend like 400 moonstones on one legendary item when you can buy like a legendary
is
chest.
it
You know?
three? I think is it 300? You can have two in a chest, 360.
Yeah. I think it's
I suppose
300.
it's only if you need one or two of something specific. I have done it with basalt before when I've needed that. But yeah, mostly you're going to be better off spending 360 and getting a chest with two in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, we can. I don't know if you want to. I know you sort of mentioned you'd seen my post and didn't understand it. If you want to talk about star system and aftermath attack and that
Yes.
element of the game.
Yeah, so you're pretty much maxed out on your attributes, right? Like 750 everything, right?
Well, yeah. So um, for attack and health, I think we know that those stop at 750. I don't know, what's the other two? Speed and what's the other one?
Defense.
There's two. Yeah, I don't know what they are. I can't even see those anymore now that you're in. Once you cross over into this evolved state, you don't even see those available anymore. But yeah, the main two, they're 750. So if you once you've gone 750, you'll be offered the joy of spending 1,000 moons to open up some more levels for yourself.
Okay.
If you don't pay the 1,000 moons, then you're just stuck at 750, and you'll just continue to collect coins, and you can't use them for anything. So you're forced to spend 1,000. It will open up five stars for you. So you'll be in the first star at that point. 50 levels of two attributes that are called strength and vitality. Strength being very similar to kind of attack, and vitality being the health or the HP side of things. You'll have 50 levels of each. If you complete those 50 levels, both of them, you can then pay again, like attack. You then pay again 1,250 moons for the next same process, 50 levels of each. It will cost you 1,500, and then 1,750, and then 2,000. And I think there are few people in the game who have gone beyond that 5th star, and another 5 stars open. So we can kind of assume it seems a bit endless, that maybe after each set of 5 stars, there's another 5. And at that point, they're costing you 2,000 moons.
I
And I
mean,
think what's important here is to talk about the value of 2,000 moons to people, or even 1,000 moons. Even once you're 750, right? The game says, okay, you've maxed your levels. We're now going to charge you. We're going to charge you like $50 or whatever it is, 1,000 moons. We're going to charge you to be able to grow some more, which I don't know your view. I don't know what the viewer or anybody listening what their view is. I actually find it a bit scandalous that we're charged for that, with everything else that we pay for, VIP and parties and the costs of the skins and stuff. Should we be paying just to do what the game is about, growing?
you
Tell me what you think.
So, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think that paying for moonstones, because technically, Moonstones is like the one thing that grinding you're really not gonna get unless you win competitions. You'll barely get any with the Alpha Pass. Well, not barely, but you'll get like maybe 300. So Moonstones is that that elite currency that really you have to pay for. So I do think that it's weird that you gotta pay to level up your wolf after 750. But the developers, they're smart. They know that if you got max health and you got max attack, you can afford to do it, and that's why they make you do it. Because there's no way
But
somebody's
I would stop
max.
you there, and I would say now that if you was going back 3, 4 years ago,
Hmm.
maybe now. I don't think now there's so many wolves that are max attack, max HP that are in evolve stage. I don't think you can just say, oh, yeah, you can afford it. You can afford to throw $50 or $100 away. I don't think that's right anymore. Because people are there because they grind hard. They grind hard. They get 750 attack. They get 750 HP. And then they get slapped with, okay, now pay for some more. I don't, I've played games, some different games, and I'm sure there's people out there that play a lot more games than me, but I've never really seen a game that does that with your normal growth. Like, the idea of this whole game is to co-op, get strong, go and fight a little bit in PvP, right?
Right.
But the game says, no, 750 is as strong as you can actually get, unless you pay us some money.
The thing is, Fred, you gotta remember, dude. Like, yes, that's like your mentality, and even though I agree totally with your mentality, dude, there's people that are like level 50 paying $2,000. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sick. There's people that are like level 50 paying $2,000 just to get a skin that doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? And when I say that, there are a lot more people that are willing to do that. And I think that that's why the game feels comfortable to charge you moonstones to
Okay,
level up your
and
vitality, you
so,
know?
and I think part of my issue with this is, and because we've done it a long time, and I know that, I referred to Blue again. I know that I spoke to him about it kind of recently, and I remember talking to him about it a long time ago. And it was very much that the evolve stage was you've maxed, and now this is just a little bit of something extra. Before armor existed, just something for you to do with your extra coins. We'd completed the game because you'd done 750 attack. But that was, we're not talking about a recent development. That I don't know the exact dates, but the evolve states, it's been around pretty much as long as not been around. If the game's 8, 9 years old, evolve's probably 4 years old. It's half of the game time been around. So this is not just a little add-on feature. Big part of the game. And biggest issue that I have with it is that we don't actually get a lot for it. So when you're in that evolve stage, I mean, you tell me now, if you on your wolf, what's your HP level on your wolf?
My HP is 300, bro.
300, okay. So if you take all your armor off and then you up HP level, your HP is going to go up, without armor, your HP is going to go up, it's about 220, 230 or something, is it 200-ish? Think about
Yeah.
5 levels to do 1,000 HP before armor.
Yeah.
So I remember, playing a lot back in those days, and that was how you always used to look at it. Think, it'll be 1k height. I've got to save up for 5 levels of HP, I'll get 1k. And it was a big difference back then, being
Right.
18k or 19k. It was a big difference. But then you move into evolve, and it gives you 100. So suddenly, you've got to do 10 levels. What the old levels was 5. You only had to do 5 to do 1,000. 1k of HP. You evolve. Now you have to and grind and pay in co-op. You have to do 10 levels to get 1k of HP for your armor before you add your armor. I don't understand that. And so it's the same with the, don't know the exact math on it, but it'll be the same with the vitality, strength. being related to attack level. One strength level isn't the same as one attack level.
All right.
And I don't know why.
How,
But we pay a lot of coins for it, a huge amount of coins for some of these levels. You know, the increase as you move through the stars is drastic. They become very expensive.
got
And then recently, what really kind of set me off of wanting to post about it was that we have armor we get boosts and bonuses from. If you look through, I actually use your website and your guide for the armor that's max. And if you look through and see the boosts that we get to HP or boosts to attack, and they'll multiply it by a factor of our attack level or our HP level.
Oh, I see what you're
And so
saying.
when I actually asked the question and said, okay, look, if I max this skill, and I was looking at if I max this piece of armor, and it's a bit of armor that I've not got maxed, and I was considering it. It was a piece of armor, not that this is really relevant, but it was a piece of armor that I'm not upgraded at all, right, a level 1. And I was looking at it thinking, if I make this level 10, could be a real benefit to me. It offers a bonus multiplied by my attack level. My attack level, if I consider the strength in my stars, my attack level is high. And then I had it confirmed that no, it's capped 750, because that's your attack level. Your stars and your strength level, it's something different, and that's why they've called it something different. It just made me realise that these levels, they're worth nothing. They're genuinely worth nothing to us. Like, the increase that we get moving through the stars it's negligible, and you're never going to get away from armor being everything. So it got my back up a little bit. I think it's something in this game that is unfair, and I think is wrong, and I think it's something that needs looking at.
All right, so now that you've explained it to me, because you got to remember, so like probably 80% of the people who play the Wolf, maybe less, they don't have, whatever you call those stars things, evolve or whatever, right? So
Yeah, evolves though.
yeah, so now it kind of makes sense what you're saying. So you're saying that, first of all, spending 2,000 moonstones barely increases your strength and vitality, which is pretty much HP and attack. And then they don't really benefit your armors, because your armors are based on level of HP and attack, right?
Yeah.
So really,
Exactly.
you're
So
paying.
You do get. If I was to upgrade one of my strength levels, yes, you do get a slight increase to your damage, but you're not going to get that damage boost from the armor.
Yeah, that multiplication.
So I think the multiplication factors and stuff, it's all capped 750, and I think personally, that's wrong, and I think more people we're at a stage now where the amount of people that are reaching evolve coming more and more. It's not that uncommon now. I tried to show on that post that anybody with a silver frame is in the evolve stage. You would see it, like if you open the profile here for Savage or myself, you'll see those around. You'll see that sort of platinum-y kind of frame around. If you look down rankings now, you're talking about hundreds of players now in that stage. It's only going to become more and more, because there's loads of people who are in the high 700s about to max out, and they're all going to start to realise, gee, they don't get a lot beyond, but you're asked to do a lot. You have to spend a lot of time in co-op. You have to get a lot of coins to start leveling up. Don't get huge benefit, huge strength, or huge growth benefit to your account.
Hey, hold on, give me one sec.
Yeah, it irritates me. It's something that really bugs me. It bugs me as much as group competitions.
Hey, Sanji, can you tell me what's wrong with the audio? Somebody said there's something wrong with the audio. All right, I mean, it makes sense. And hopefully, and here's the thing, Fred. And again, I mean, me and Blue, we're not on good speaking terms like you are, right, with him. But here's the thing: the great part about this game and this company is that they're really, they do they do let you voice your opinion, especially you being the person that you are. Why don't you try to like bring it up or make a suggestion? That armors should be based on damage too, not just not just on levels or like something that make sense. Because um,
But before I answer that, is it my sound? Is it my earphones going? I can drop the earphones completely if it's me. Or
all right, so Aubrey's no, so your sound sounds good.
okay,
Sanji
you can hear
says
me.
Sanji says sounds like a lot of white noise. It's because you know what it is. So I can't play music because I'm on the phone. I'm on this phone or whatever, and I have a gaming laptop, and it's just making a lot of noise. So I'm sorry about that.
Okay. I thought it might have been me if I laid down on a cushion all of a sudden where I've got the earbuds in. Um, but yeah, look, I think like what you've taken there is like I don't have any. I haven't got any exceptional relationship with the developers or with Blue. Or some people seem to think that's the case. That's absolutely not the case. I can't influence anything in game. I will talk to Blue the same as many people will talk to Blue, and I've had my ups and downs and disagreements on a lot of stuff as well. I do find that for anybody in the community, if you need a pointer in the right direction, he'll give you a view on it, or give you a sort of company view on it, or find out whether you like the answer or not. It's something different. More often than not, I don't like the answer. Um,
So
so I can't. Part of the reason why I come in on here with you and talking about some of the things that bother me is to make that more of a public thing. And maybe if it's things that people agree with, maybe the community as a whole has a voice that gets heard. I've lost you. I don't know where you are.
yeah, I got lost.
But yeah, I'm not in the sort of position where I can go to Blue and say like, oh, you should change this, and then a month later the game's going to change it. That's some
Right.
people seem to think that, but that's definitely not the case.
I mean, I don't think it is, but what I feel like is that you have a point of view that most people don't have, right? Because, for example, I don't know anything about Evolve, right? And I feel like maybe your opinion or feedback is valued a little bit more than, say, let's exaggerate, like level 10 Wolf, right? Right? Level 10 Wolf that's saying that, that grizzly bears are too strong in Green Hills, right? So, like, I feel like your opinion is valued a little bit more, and I feel like it would be taken a little bit more seriously into consideration. So I'm not saying that you could tell them, hey, do this, and it's gonna happen.
I
But
think potentially because we've seen it, and if you've been through it, if you've been through all the stuff, you can't talk about Evolve if you've not been in Evolve,
right,
and if you don't monitor what you get from Evolve, then you're not gonna know what to complain about. Listen, I can complain about a lot of stuff and always have done. Ultimately, the reason I'm in this game is I do like it. I think it's a great relaxation tool. I'm not a huge PvP player. Never really have been. I do my bits and I do enjoy a little bit here and there, but I am mostly co-opper. Always have been. Find it relaxing game. I don't play the sort of hours like I used to when I was quite hardcore into it, but 4 or 5 nights a week, a couple of hours before bed or the evening or a bit of the weekend. And I think in the past I've been way too into the game and putting too many hours, and now it's very much in my life that it's just this is quite relaxing to me, just running around, chopping up some animals, to really like it's chill. It's the same as sitting down and like watching a film or watching a movie. Anything that relaxes. Being in co-op for me is relaxing. Something that I enjoy doing.
so
That's why I continue to do it.
so I mean, I agree with you. I actually quit the game. I know a lot of people on YouTube doesn't know this, but I actually quit the game, and that's why I haven't been streaming. The only reason why I'm back is just to interview you, because we had talks about it. I just didn't want to tell anybody until like it happened, or until we were sure.
Yeah,
So that's the only reason why I came back to do this interview with you. But it's addicting, dude. Like I'm telling you, sometimes I find myself just logging in, and I'm like, nah, and I put it back away. Um, but the reason why I quit, Fred, and you would probably understand more than most too, is, dude, do you know how much hackers there are in the game, dude? Like modders and people just running around, just like here you are, putting all this time in, right? You're co-oping at 90% penalty. You're spending tons of money. You're doing all this and that. You're spending 6 8 hours a day on the wolf, and now you got these random people. Half of them are rats. To let me add that, right? Because only a rat would have the mentality of doing something like that. But half of them are rats, and they're just running around, modding the game and getting away with it, bro. And at
I
first,
don't know how many. I couldn't tell you how many. I know that. Listen, on all games you get cheating, right? There's always people finding vulnerabilities. They find ways to cheat, and games close them off. Like I went through a phase of playing lots of PUBG.
okay,
Same thing, right? You come across cheaters, and that game, huge budget by huge company. They find cheaters, but they eventually they find ways to deal with it. And think think one of the issues that I have about cheating in this game is that there's elements of double standards. A lot of games would just if you've cheated, you're gone, your account's gone. And I think here with here sometimes people get chances. Like they know what they're doing's wrong. They know that they've found a vulnerability, a glitch in the system, you know, to generate gems or generate whatever. They know what they're doing is wrong, and they get caught. They don't lose their account.
so
Bothers me. You know, that really bothers me.
well, so here's the thing, and again, I agree. Everybody who exploits glitches should get punished by getting banned, right? But I know why they don't
Yeah.
do it. It's because because they're pretty much, they're not really cheating. They're exploiting the game by, because the developers didn't make the game right. But when I'm talking about cheaters, Fred, I'm talking about real cheaters, like like real cheaters. Like they could just put as many coins and gems and moonstones as they want, and those accounts are in the regular servers, man. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
I don't know about that. I don't know how those accounts are, and if they don't get caught or how they don't get caught. You'd think that any account that suddenly generated any large amount of coins, a large amount of moons, or any large growth would flag up the system automatically and get kicked. Um, it's an area that I'm not that knowledgeable on. I'm not computer savvy. I'm not tech savvy. I don't understand what people can do, or how they can cheat, or where they can get cheats from, or people that run Game Guardian or whatever it is. Like, it's not something that I'm knowledgeable about, right?
yeah.
And that's why it makes me laugh and I actually can get quite offended about it and I have done before with like another streamer. I came back and they started like going, this rank one, look how much you've grown, got to be a hacker. And I do actually take that as a compliment in some ways, but I'm also get quite offended by it because I know how much money I put into this game, and I know how much time or put in myself or the efforts that I go to kind of grow my wolf. So it does bother me, and especially because I just wouldn't have this, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have the skills to know how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated still to do, but what people do is they buy it from that person, and that's what happens. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's good that you don't know about it, because the second that you know about it, it just, dude, it took away any kind of willpower to try to play. And the
I've always known for years that there's people that have cheated around, and I've spent I've spent a lot of time trying to, and in a lot of cases quite successfully, having people banned. Um, I've kind of done that. I had it recently with, you'd seen the video of someone in domination, just,
Yeah,
and
Invincible
I
or
got
whatever.
accused by some people. Yeah, I got accused by some people of like, oh look, rank one crying, like, rank one losing to a little wolf, and I'm like, hold on, this isn't losing to a little wolf. This is someone who's immortal and spans skills. Right? I haven't paid all the money that I have, and put all the time and effort in, and not just for me, but for anybody in the game who's legit, to come up against someone who just downloads something or buys or however they do it, to just go and be invincible. And if people say that's me crying or whatever, then they don't understand. I think they just don't understand the issues. I think we know, which is irritating as well. I think we know that in terms of the ranked wolves, I'm not going to name names. People have got their own views on it, but there's definitely wolves high in ranking that benefited massively from glitches or vulnerabilities in the system. Right? You probably know more than me, but
Are you?
cheats with generating cheats. Like I think there was kind of two, like a VPN one where you could turn your internet connection between a VPN one and your normal connection, and you could duplicate the chests you were getting. Another where you could just get the chest again. If you didn't like what was in the chest, you could somehow make it happen again. And there's wolves that are high in ranking that grew massively on these kind of cheats, and they're still in the game, and that bothers me, because what's the deal here? The developers know and say, oh, okay, you found our vulnerability, so we just let you stay. The people that are doing that, when they're doing it, they know that that's an outright cheat. They know they shouldn't be doing that. They know they're getting something that they don't deserve or haven't earned. But they're still here, and they're still playing amongst us, and they're playing among the large majority of the players in this game are legit and straight, right? And they use their hard-earned money and their hard-earned time to grow legitimate.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, again, I really disagree with the way that Rage Quit Games is dealing with the modders and hackers, and dude, and that's why there are people, making allegations against you that you're a hacker, because they know that it can be done, and it's just so messed up.
but it can be done, and it has been done, and it is. I don't know if it's still being done, because those ones that I know about, don't think they're available anymore. But certain people and certain wolves out there think if you look at when and how people grew, and when they stopped growing, I think that's quite telling. There was people was able to cheat, right? They'd found the cheat. Fucking hills on this thing. And their wolves was growing massively, and then they get fit, and suddenly you don't see them growing quite so far, or not even close. And yeah, my issue with it is I think that the developers do know. I think that they'd seen. I think some people had maybe even had warnings or whatever, and there should be a zero tolerance to it. There's always going to be new cheating. There's always going to be people out there finding new ways to cheat, but we should have an absolute zero tolerance, to the point where if you cheat, you're gone. Your account is gone. Simple as that. So, and then everybody knows it. Okay, you can come into the game. You can take advantage of a vulnerability, take advantage of a mod, whatever. When you're caught, or when the game catches up and works out what that is, you're gone. Your account is gone. No benefit of, okay, this person spends this amount of money, or they only did it this amount of times, or they only did it then. No, zero tolerance. And that doesn't exist right now. I think we all know that.
wasn't there like a glitch in the game where people were abusing, and like they barely gave him like a, I think they gave him like a 3 day ban or something like that, something stupid.
Yeah, so I think if we go back a few years, sort of before Moons, it was the gem glitch, right? People found ways to make a champ respawn over and over again, known as the gem glitch, right? So you'd have a group of, you'd see them in your room, and all of a sudden everybody would leave the room, everyone would come back, the champ would regenerate, and people would just stockpile gems that way. And it became known. I actually lost a couple of people at Ferox at the time because I kicked them out when I seen them doing it after I'd asked them to stop. The game found it and then pretty much underplayed it. A lot of people got they got a warning. I remember there was a notice that came to their account and they got like 24-hour, 36-hour flame and a warning like if you ever partake in a sort of a vulnerability to gain unfair advantage again, you'll lose your account. But it didn't take the gems back, which hurts me at the time. You know, if you look through someone's account and they've spent, I'll make these numbers up, but if they've been doing it for a month and they generated, 20,000 gems and they've upped the skill on it, then, you'd think as a minimum those gems would be taken back, the skills would be rolled back. But the people got to keep their skills that they'd matched. They got to keep it, and they just had this kind of warning. I remember seeing a screenshot of the warning that some people got, kind of saying like, if you do it again, you risk having your account back.
Yeah, I remember seeing something like that, and I was like, really?
Take the gems back really irked me. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that they're able to track who did it, obviously, because they gave them a warning. So how are you going to be able to track who did it and still not, punish them for it? Because some exploit, some glitches, you can't really track who did it, but they were able to find out who actually did it, and they still didn't punish them.
Then in that instance, right, loads of people were doing it. A huge amount of people were doing that. So I can sort of understand them saying, okay, we're not gonna ban everybody for this. But they should have been taking the gems back. For a lot of these people that did it, 3-day ban or the 1-day ban or whatever it was, where'd you go?
I'm stupid. Yeah.
For a lot of these people, they it was worth it for how they upped the skill. To up a skill or to max a skill or something, it was worth taking a 2-day or a 3-day ban to up the skill because they've got the up skill forever. And
right.
Just a couple of days.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's a lot to question. Rage quit with how they deal with people who cheat. And why people that have done it are still in our rankings now.
Yeah. But again, like, glitches is a different story, right? I guess I'll explain more what I'm trying to say in a different in a different stream. Because it's pretty... it's depressing enough to make you want to quit the game. That's all I'm saying. But here, so... on another subject, how many skins you got, bro?
Yeah, let's do some more light-hearted stuff in skins. Let's have a look. It gives me a number, right? I'm definitely not a skin king. I know there's a few skin collectors out there. I've slowly been building mine up, but being out of the game for a couple of years, it's quite a few. Wait for you to come back.
Do you have?
Tell you how many?
Do you have the Orion?
Oh yeah, collected. 101. I'm on 101.
101 skin? That's still epic, bro.
Yeah, I think it's respectable. It's up to the range. I noticed at the moment that there's a skin available which I haven't got, which is a nice skin, this Anubis.
Anubis? The new one? It's actually not new. They dropped it before. Oh, you want me to kill this?
No, but it was one that when I came back, I liked it. But I've actually put it on hold buying it because had that sort of moment recently. I'm like, even through the web store, um, champ here.
Yeah, there's a champ.
Even through the web store, it was still coming out to me for about like £80, and I just had this moment. I was like, you know what? I'm in a bit of a mood right now where some of this stuff in the game is upsetting me. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to give them £80 right now for that skin, and I'll probably regret that in a few days and wish I had the skin and just buy it or whatnot.
Let me check it out.
But yeah, some of the skins are obscene prices, right? It's a lot of money.
I mean, it's pretty cool. The profile picture for it looks way better than the actual skin itself.
But for Anubis,
Yeah, for Anubis.
not the only one though, right? There are plenty of high-end skins that are a lot of money.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite skin?
I like this, which I intentionally put this on. This was a pass skin. I always call it Green Dragon, but it's called, I don't know, what's it called? Gold one or something, right? So that was a sort of freebie.
I don't know. Right now, the skin that you got on is glowing right now. I don't know what it is.
Maybe I need to refresh. But so this one was one that came with the pass. I really like it. Let me open the collections. I'm a Blight Spore, the green one, the bright green one, Blight Spore. I'm a big fan of that.
That is the dragon skin. Dude, how come you have blue glowing around you?
No, I don't see blue growing around me on my screen. Maybe it's one of my mods on my hat.
I mean, whatever mod you have, bro, I want that. Dude, like right now you're like glowing blue. Oh, dude, you just hopped off.
I'm refreshing. I'm going to see if maybe, because we've been in the room a while, maybe something
You know what?
going on.
It looks like that you know when like you get like a poison effect or when you get like a frozen effect? That's how you looked. Yeah, now you look basic as hell, bro. You should have kept the other skin that you had earlier.
This was the same skin
No,
about my mod running, yeah?
Yeah. Dude, that looked cool actually.
No, this actually is one of the nicest skins they've made. But I switch my skins quite often. So like I say, Blight Spore is the bright green one. I like that one a lot.
What'd you think of the
I
thunder
actually quite
skin?
like is that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
It's I'm not the biggest fan. I've got it. It's a little bit old school now, right?
It is.
It's one of the older ones. I understand what people like it. I have got it in the collection.
It is. I feel it's like having the Great Wolf.
Yeah, I've got that. That's not actually a bad skin, is it?
The Great Wolf, that's that
The-
free
the past-
skin.
The past skins have been a bit hit and miss. I mean, the current ones, I haven't even completed this month's pass. Usually I just buy them, but I was so uninspired by these sort of Christmassy skins that I just couldn't even be bothered to get them. So I'll get them shortly. But I think from all the parties, there's been maybe 2 sets of skins that are good.
Yeah, the Scorch Wolf was pretty nice.
I'm quite pro the pass. No one's still on there anymore. I think the pass is quite good value for what you get out of it. You get your legendary items, like your legendary materials. You get a couple of those. You get plenty of stuff for the money. So I'm not anti pass. I think I'll always get the pass.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the pass is good, especially when you're growing. They changed it recently, but before, you were getting the same rewards as, like, say you got the Alpha Pass and a level 1 Wolf got the Alpha Pass, you guys would get the exact same reward, right? Which makes sense, but, yeah, now they changed it. Now you don't get as many coins, you don't get as many gems, but you still pay the same.
I didn't know that. I thought everybody got the same.
I mean, you would think, right? Because they're paying. No, but I've been playing on this smaller account for a little bit. I mean, again, I'm not gonna get too much into that because it's that small account's the reason why I quit. But I was looking at the alpha pass, and it's like, yeah, you're supposed to get like $500,000 coins for this, and they're giving me like 25,000. Yeah, they
Yeah,
changed it.
no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I suppose it's a bit like the rewards in domination or something. We haven't spoke about that. Do you want to talk about domination?
Yeah, what do you think about domination, man? Oh, by the way, have you ever won a domination like first place?
No,
Nah.
no. There was only two, right? There's only been two events, I think, or there was only two that I tried. One was short, and then the second one was
15 days long.
a longer 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No. I think I just sort of decided at the start of the second one that it wasn't really worth trying to win it. Like, I wasn't sure even if I could. Just was taking so much time. That was the week at the start of the week. You know, I got a 90% because of the time I was online, the time queuing to get into games, like joining a lobby and waiting, over 20 minutes to get a match started. Like, and all that time you're missing out on coins in co-op, and so I kind of just decided that anybody that was going to try and grind to win it at the high level, I actually think they're a bit of an idiot because they've just lost out massively. The prizes, the rewards just weren't worthwhile. The reward for grinding that game for 2 weeks in domination could earn more just being in co-op for a day. So that's pretty much what I did. I just played it as a little bit of a hobby. I finished like 8th or 9th or something, and it screwed me. On the whole, I tried to play quite a few. Alone and see how it worked. And I don't know if it just takes the fact that I've got 30 billion CP and is that you running away from me? I think you're chasing the wrong one. I can't keep up with you now.
Sorry, dude. I think he's the one with the crown. That's why, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried to play some alone. And I don't know if the system just goes, okay, well, you're 30 billion CP, so we're going to stick you in 3 little tiny wolves because it's still more than what the other side. And I got screwed. I lost loads of games, man. Loads of games just being put with, forget the titles, but like, is it Grand Champion where you're 3 mil CP or 10 mil CP?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was getting put with wolves like 10 mil CP or lots of greens and coming up against 3 golds and a red, or 2 golds, 2 reds, and I lost loads of games at it.
Yeah, they haven't came out with an event.
People have spoke a lot about that system of how it was the matchmaking system and the CP element. I've got a personal view on it, which I think would solve it all, because I don't think they're ever really going to solve the CP issue, because there's not enough big wolves to an extent. Like, you can't. What do they want? They just want to take all the golds out or all wolves out and just say, okay, well, there's only 20 or 30 or 40 of you that can play in the top tier level, and you've got to be away from everybody else. For me, the easy fix is you shouldn't be able to. You should not be able to make teams. You shouldn't be able to invite anybody to play with. It should be completely random. You can maybe segregate, certain badges, like level it off and say, okay, gold, call it gold, whatever, right? Gold, red, blue, green, maybe one more down, you can potentially play together. I think it should be, they're short games, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. I think it would really speed up how quick games started. That if you want to play domination, you just join. You join, and you get who you get. And sometimes you'll be lucky, sometimes you'll be unlucky. Ultimately, it's fair because it's random. It's really tough if a team goes, if a team fills up with 3 golds or 2 golds, 2 reds, and then just blitzes their way through everybody all the time. Um, that's no different to the complaints people had about PvP, right? Domination was supposed to be a little bit different. So for me, I would say all random, no joining or sort of playing with your friends. You might get your friends, you might not, but you just go and play. 5-minute game, 6-minute game, 8-minute game. You get who you get. You know what? If you land in a team and you're a lot stronger than the other side, then good for you. You probably win. Being big doesn't mean you're always going to win. You know, you can play smart in domination. I played some games with rank 3, and we joined and had 2 randoms join us, and we lost games. You know, you'd think, well, rank 1 and rank 3 joining, but we lost games because ultimately it's a 4-player game, right? And all the wolves can be smart. I saw some really smart small wolves who knew how to generate the point. Don't know if to call this champion or not. Don't really want it. I'm not convinced that for the bigger wolves they're ever going to make it a success unless they make it random. So I'll sit on that hill, die on that one. Don't know what you think of that.
I mean, I think domination, to be honest, is just like competition, like you said earlier, bro. If you have a crew, especially if you're a big wolf and you have like all gold ranks in your crew, you know, and you just join the lobbies together, bro, you're just gonna dominate. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, but what sort of happened? What I noticed was that if I did join with some big players, if we went in and said, okay, we're going to go big, the amount of times that we actually came across another big team was very limited. You know, over all the times we played, it didn't happen very often. We would usually sit in a lobby and wait 15 minutes
oh
or
wow.
more for a game to start. And then sometimes it would be, the other team would be really small. They would almost have a go at us, like this is unfair, blah, blah, blah. Like it was our fault that had been drawn out. The game had matched us. And then sometimes they'd just sit in the den. They wouldn't want to come out and fight, which I don't blame them for because they had no chance. So they'd sit in the den. The game would finish after 5 minutes. We'd get hardly any points out of it. I'd get like a +1 or something stupid, and I've wasted 30 minutes of my evening to get one domination game.
Ah, okay.
That was how domination went for me.
Gotcha.
I think it as a game, quite a good game. I was a little bit disappointed because we waited so long for this new mode, and this new amazing mode was coming, and then they came up with domination, which exists in every other game you play. There's nothing new, right? Domination's there in most games in some format. If you play any of the, PUBGs or any of those kind of shooting games, they all have domination. So it wasn't like they reinvented the wheel.
Gotcha.
But kind of like it. I think it's okay. I think it's a good, we've got co-op, we've got PvP. Why not have it as these little short games? I think it's good because I think we all know that PvP sometimes can take your life away from you. You can go PvP and it can become all night, stuck in some grind or war for no reason, like over and over and over again, killing the same people, dying the same people. I think, what are we doing? Like, how have I done a 6-hour PvP war? Like, madness. I don't enjoy PvP as how some people do. Some people absolutely love it, right?
It's
They
the thing too. The difference is because different CP brackets have different PvP styles, so that's why it's a little bit different. You know, like for example, I love small server PvP. It's like playing, I don't know. It's like playing Call of Duty, bro. Like everybody you hit is just like one shot, and you're just like running around just killing people. Where like big CP is like co-op pretty much. playing PvP. You know, it's like
Yeah,
whoever has.
I had access to a smaller wolf for a little while, and was playing. I was actually trying to improve my PvP skills by playing PvP in lower servers, like trying to learn a little bit of the throw skills and stuff, and I'm not very good at that. So, and I went and did it a little bit, and you're right, it's very different type of gameplay. It's more action. They're all ultimately you're all going to die because you're sort of one bite or one throw of a double claw killing. You know, I'm talking about like really low HP wolves, and it is different. Big servers in PvP becomes a little bit more about not dying rather than killing. They're completely different games. They are completely different games, and that's why I think domination does give people something different because it's fast. You know, it's fast and it's over. You're in and out.
Yeah.
If matchmaking was fast, and you clicked and you joined and a domination match started, and then 8-10 minutes later it's all finished. You're in the queue again for another one. I think that would be really good. So, I mean, I assume that we'll get another go at it again soon. They're probably out there I'm assuming they're trying to fix all the complaints that people had last time around.
To be fair,
I don't think they're going to resolve it. For big wolves, I don't think they'll resolve it. I think we're going to have the same issue.
yeah. I was gonna say, to be fair, I think big wolves are probably the only ones that have issues matchmaking, because with my small account, dude, they were throwing me in there like 20 seconds in there. I'm already in the server. Just because there's just so many players.
And that makes sense because there's more, and the big wolves. Yeah, there's less big wolves. Obviously, if you start going into just reds and golds, or even the big blues, there are less. I think for blue badges, I think it was relatively good, but it was definitely tough for the gold players to get good activity. And that's why I think that if it was just random, and if you're a gold or a big red and you join a room and you just get put with whoever you get put with, I think it would create more action. There'd be more life. The matches would just start. There's not going to be an unbeatable team of 4 sitting there relentlessly waiting in matchmaking for ages for someone to be able to join them.
Hey, so this guy named Prince in chat, he's actually one of my moderators, so I don't know who he is. He must have changed his name, but he said, this guy Fred takes order from HP01. So I think HP01, that's Prada's pack, right?
Orders.
Yeah, you take orders apparently.
I love it when people are triggered, right? So people love talking a load of shit, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm guessing probably he's triggered by HP1. They probably denned him, or they probably beat him in PvP or something. I don't know, and he's probably really triggered on it. That sounds like a him issue and not a me issue.
That's true. Yeah, especially if he's bringing HP01. So that's Prada's pack, right? Like, how's your relationship with Prada? And who else is in there? Ollie? Did you talk to Ollie? Does he still play?
No, I talked to Prada a bit. I've had ups and downs with Prada because when I first came back to the game, there was an issue where she spot blocked me in war, and I went full on 4v1 with HBO1, and we had these issues. But then behind us we have I'd say a good relationship now. We talk, and we've got an agreement pact that we don't get involved in each other's wars negatively. Like, we don't fight against each other.
Okay, you guys are allies almost.
Yeah, I know you can term it however you want. Like, there's no kind of pressure on us. We don't have to support each other. We just have this agreement where we won't negatively influence each other's war. So we won't fight against each other, or the spot blocking's still a big issue in PvP. if anyone was going to top block, we wouldn't do that against each other. Um, those kind of alliances, just as a negative thing. We won't influence their wars negatively, and that means that quite often we will end up fighting together.
Gotcha.
I genuinely don't do a lot of PvP. I will go sometimes when people ask for help. There's certain big wolves in the game. I say big wolves, sort of referring to golds that they do go out of their way to target smaller wolves. Like they will go into a room intentionally to kind of say, okay, well I'm going to go and brutalise these blues and greens and bullies, basically bullies. I try. I think if you're a gold, you've earned the right to do that if you want to an extent. I don't do it a huge amount, so more often when I get called to a war, it's because there's bigger wolves killing smaller wolves, and people try to even it up a little bit. That's more often when I go to war. It's normally people inviting me than me inviting people.
Okay, makes sense.
Usually I'm just here. I'm here in co-op, and I'm grinding, and I'm trying to target my next level up, and then just a little bit of PvP for fun. That's it.
So I seen I don't know if I saw it on social media or on Prada's YouTube page, but I had seen I guess she had invited you to fight versus Kalisa and Nick. I don't know, one of them. And yeah, so like I'm guessing that's why they're saying that you're like HPO ones. I don't know if I don't know the whole story or anything, but I'm guessing that happens a lot, huh?
The thing is, right, so if you want to use, say, Kalisa, for example, right, she's ranked 2, I think, or she's ranked 3, whatever, 2 or 3 in between, right? So she's ranked 2, she's a strong wolf, yeah? She's a very strong wolf.
Yeah.
Well, she's always just fighting blues and greens. Like, that's all she does. Her and Nick, that's all they do is just bully the smaller one. And like, I'm not in PvP finding them. I get invites like, oh, Kalisa's here, and she's like bullying us. And then the hypocritical nature of it is that you then go, or a gold comes, and the tides turn, and more often than not, they just leave. They run away and leave fast, or they cry like, oh, you need a gold to come for us. You're like, you're here bullying blue shields. Like, get over yourself. You know.
Alright, so I'm gonna assume that your relationship with Nick and Kalisa is not on the bestest terms, huh?
No, I don't. I've got zero relationship with him. I think I think really had direct issue with Kalisa. I think Nick's a low life piece of trash, to be honest. And I think Kalisa just sort of follows him. She's the bigger wolf, but she's a little bit just sort of lapdog for him. They're up there with about as low as it comes, I think. But they're definitely like they definitely just go around looking for smaller people to fight, right? And then when a war becomes if a war becomes sort of not in their favour, they normally leave pretty quick. They'll moan about some stuff and leave. I say she's got a great wolf. She's got a really strong wolf. Respect for that. It's an impressive wolf that she uses. But just mostly she uses it to go after smaller people, right?
I kind of feel like she came out of nowhere. Like, once you took a break, I don't know what. I'm not really in tune too much with like the big wolves and things like that anymore. But I kind of feel like she came out of nowhere one day, you know. I feel like I never heard of her before.
The world changed fast. The wolf world changed fast. I took a break. Thought I'd left, to be honest. The game lured me back in, but I was away from the game for 2 years, and then I come back and just like pretty much everything had changed. There was a few still similar big wolves at the top, you know, child beetles still around. other than that, a lot of the other people have moved on. They've sold. I mean, if you look through the top rankings now, how many of those wolves are with the original owners? Not many. Most have been sold, passed on. Um, so it was a change of scenery, and then you had the few new people that had just in the space of 2 years had come from nowhere. They generated massive growth, massive growth really quickly. And if it was legit, then impressive.
Do the gamer girls, do they still play the
Who's that?
the double X or whatever it's called? Here, let me see. But I
Yeah,
remember, didn't she have
I
like a
still
pretty
see.
big wolf?
She wasn't. She was not a friend of mine, and not someone I think highly of. I know people in the XX pack, and some really
Lexa.
nice people, but yeah, but her, she was not somebody that I think very highly of. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can move on from that one.
Nah, so the only reason why I
They
brought
just
her up was because one,
yeah.
a long time ago, I was streaming or I was doing something, recording, and she just had joined the room and just started like bullying me. I don't know if you remember, but then you had joined. I don't know, but somehow you were involved, and I think you helped, or something along those lines. Either that, or you had said something. I forgot, but it was a long time
I
ago.
think, well, yeah, I wouldn't have been helping her. So if you was fighting her, I'd have probably been helping you. Um, I don't think anyone wants this. We might as well try and get it. Um, yeah, that's an old. I mean, I think she doesn't. I think her wolf is probably someone else playing it, or if she does play, it's she used to have a big wolf and now she doesn't. So people like that used to throw their weight about on a big wolf, and then when they don't, they kind of go into hiding a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because the big wolf community would just chew them up and spit them out now. Armor, armor was. I came back to the game and my wolf was 2.3, I think 2.3. I'd left my wolf with somebody to play it in that time, and they'd pretty much just done a little bit of epic armor. And so I come back, I was way down, 26th, 29th in ranking or something, and I was like, wow, I was one before I left back, the 20 odd. But in some ways, I was able to use that to grow quick because I guess some people learned the hard way and wasted a lot of materials on things they shouldn't. I was able to talk to people like Zara and learn what I should do and where I should invest. And then, I obviously then grew from 2.5 billion up to, trying to think what I was when I hit rank 1 again, like about 15 mark, 15 or 16 maybe.
Why?
Might have been a bit lower than that.
All right. So why did you take a break, bro? You get locked up or what?
No, I was still around. I definitely weren't locked up. Just like, do you know, we'd come out of that sort of period where the world was a weird place. We'd had lockdown, we'd had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you got that one, the old one-shot buffalo.
It's alright. I'm not even trying, to be honest. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, and I think during lockdown was when I hit too many hours in Wolf during lockdown. I was in full lockdown for a long time. I was able to not have to sort of go back to work as early as say maybe some people did, and I think it wasn't. I think it hit me quite hard, lockdown and the mental health aspect of it. I think at the time Wolf brought out some. There was some traits of myself at the time that I really didn't like. I was like, wow, this game had made me act or respond or pull in ways that I was like, that's just not me, man. What have I become? I'm talking like how these rats.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, okay, look, life's getting back to normal now. let's just get away from this place. It had got a bit rotten to me personally. I was like, I'm not getting anything from the game. It wasn't now I use the game to chill, relax, and now I'm having a great time now. This is just vegging. I've got myself a couple of cans of White Claw. Love having a drink, just chill out. But I think then, before the break, it was too intense. Wolf seemed like it had become too big a part of my life. It was too important. It was too serious. There was, it was just too intense. It was just as simple as that. Where I was like, do you know what? I just need to just go away, get back to life again.
I get you.
You know, because of how intense lockdown was, it meant that sitting at home and gaming and stuff was pretty much all there was. So I did need that break, and I did think I'd never come back. You know, I was irritated still at the time by potentially the amount of cheating in the game as well, and I'm like, what are we doing? And then about a year ago, I pretty much made the mistake of pretty much made the mistake of like saying to Leona, who was on my wolf, like, oh, I'm going to come back and just do a little bit of co-op and try and help you grow a little bit faster. And come back. And I was just in. I couldn't take being 26th in ranking or 29th. I'm like, what is this? Like, I can't be down there. And so I just set about taking back my ranking. It didn't take me that long either. I don't know how long, but I think maybe like 5-6 months to get back up to rank 1, and had to deal with all the who's this new person?
Yeah.
People that had no idea that I'd played the game before. Who's this new person who's now rank 1? He's got to be cheating. Okay.
You know what's crazy is that now the gap in CP that you have versus number 2 and number 3 is like almost double. It's crazy.
Yeah. Seen it. It's getting to the point where I haven't got a lot of wiggle room left to grow, to be honest. Not in terms of armor, because you can only wear 6 bits of armor right now, right? So if they're all mapped, you can work a little bit on quality. It's about sort of where I'm at. My next couple of CP jumps will be from upgrading quality on some bits. But that becomes hard. I've got items now that to upgrade the quality you need 16 pieces. So I would imagine now I'll pretty much be where I am for a while, and the world will close in. Until something new comes. You know, if you're right and there's new types of armor coming, then good luck to all of us in our bank accounts.
Yeah, they're not only going to come out with armors, they're going to come out with add-ons to the armors too. They got something on Evoland called Runes, which allows you to add effects to your armor and things like that. So they're probably going to add that to the wolf. It's a little bit confusing for me, but
I bet they're not going to let me spend my gems on it.
Yeah, they'll probably let you spend your gems on it. Here. And you don't have to disclose this if you don't want to, but I know everybody would love to know. How much money do you think you spent in total lifetime on your wolf? And be honest, bro. If you answer.
Total, like, from starting play?
Mm-hmm. If you had to take a wild guess.
It would be a wild guess. But I reckon 250, probably.
$250
got to be in that.
Dollars or $250,000?
250,000. That's where I reckon that's not far out either way. Can't imagine it being far out from that.
$250,000, bro. You're crazy, man. And even though like I had an idea, bro, like hearing it come out from you is crazy, bro. Like I don't even think I've made that
for a long time. Like if we're talking about 8 years, I think if you went back before Armour, you would talk to people, you know, OG players that even before Armour existed, that spoke about the amount of money that into their account, and then you had the skins in, you had the premiums, you had. I don't keep a running total. Don't know why anybody would. That's a ballpoint figure. I would say that's probably not far away.
Damn. I mean, there is a way you can find out. It's gonna take you a while, but you can actually see like your history for Google Play and your payments. And I literally did the math. I spent like 6 grand on the wolf, and I was feeling ashamed. So, ugh. That's crazy, dude.
I mean, you can. Is that a chant? Or they just asking?
Nah, it's not a chant.
I think if you look at sometimes you can get a guide by what people try and sell their wolves for, right? So, everybody knows if you sell your wolf, you're not getting your money back.
Right.
Okay, we're not allowed to sell wolves, but there's a huge market of people selling and trading wolves, right? So if you buy a wolf, you're going to get it for a better price than what that person's put into it, if it's legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen that one of the very big wolves was available for sale, and I think the asking price on that was originally something like 78 grand or something. And you can see sort of mid-range golds being sold or being asked, people asking, 30 or 40,000 pounds. So you get a guide of what people have spent. They're not making a profit. No one's making a profit out of selling their wolf off.
Right. Right. Yeah. Usually you get not even half. But I mean, how do you feel about that? Because like here's the thing. All right, you could literally buy a Lamborghini. Wait, do you have a Lamborghini?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
I don't.
Oh.
I did. No, I don't have a Lamborghini. No.
Oh.
I did buy myself a nice car recently. I did.
Yeah.
Start September. The new red. Yeah, I bought myself
What?
RS7.
RS7. Okay, that is nice.
Yeah.
Brand new. That's like 100 plus. Brand new, right? More almost.
Yeah, look, it's a lot of money. It's madness, right? The money that we spend on a game is madness. I think you can balance it or counteract it with. I'll give you an example, and this is not a reason why I did Wolf, but I used to be quite. I was a casino goer. Okay, I was a gambler.
Ah, okay.
Okay, and you don't win money gambling. You don't win money going to the casino. I wasn't going to the casino to try and win money. It was a hobby. It was a night out. But I would hit the casino multiple times in a week. And I don't really do that. I don't do that anymore. I've been to the casino once in like 3 years or something. I had one night out there. So we spend money on hobbies.
Yeah.
So if I settle in, if I say, okay, tonight it's a Sunday night, if I settle in and have a few hours co-op like now with you, okay, playing co-op.
Yeah.
If I wasn't here, I'm not saying this is a good thing, tell you how you want, but if I wasn't here, maybe I'd have popped out down the pub with some friends.
Yeah.
In the past, in a previous life, maybe I'd have hit the casino and dropped a couple of grand and come home very miserable, right?
Right.
But maybe I'd gone down the pub. The cost of living crisis, crazy price for drinks. You go down the pub, spend 50, 60, 70, 80 quid. You come out of the pub, you've had a drink, you go for Indian food, or you go for a kebab, or what people do when they've been drinking. That's like you spend money. All your hobbies, or the activities that you do, you spend money. So if you offset that by playing Wolf for some of it, then there's a value to it. It doesn't need to be free. It has a cost value in not spending elsewhere. That makes sense?
No, that's a great way to look at it. And to be honest, before you said this, yeah, I mean, actually, it justifies the reason why. To be honest, there's really, yeah, a lot of people don't know why I started playing the Wolf, and I won't tell people because it's a very bad thing that I was doing. But you're right. Now, like the Wolf almost like saved me. Where like, I would have spent a lot more money doing the other stuff. You know what I mean? And, yeah.
Well, exactly that. So you've got first-hand example of actually this game can take you away from things. Now, I didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to play Wolf because I'm going to stop going to the casino. I'm going to stop doing this or that to play Wolf." It didn't work like that. It was just coincidence. It just sort of worked like that. Like, if you're here, if you're at home and you co-oping for a few hours, then you're not doing other things that would likely be, more expensive.
Yeah. I mean,
going to the casino is more expensive than playing Wolf.
I mean,
But yeah, it's a lot of money. It's an obscene amount of money. And listen, I couldn't. We're not allowed to sell our wolves, right?
Yeah.
People do. We're not allowed. But if I was to go down that route of trying to break the rules and leave the game and sell my wolf to someone, then what's the number? Okay, it's a number that really nobody can. Unlikely anybody would have pay for it, and I'm not gonna let it go for a silly cheap price because I'm just mothballing it, right? I could leave the game today, take a 2-year break, not even open it, forget anybody playing it, and I could still come back in 2 years and still have a competitive account. Yeah, I'm not.
Right.
It may not be top 1, it may not be top 10, but it's going to be competitive still, So me now saying, "Oh, I want out for the game, I'll take 20 grand from someone or 30 grand from someone," there's just no point. I wouldn't do it. So, for me to walk away from the game, it would have to be a 6-figure number. Who's out there? Who's out there with 6 figures to drop in a game? Not many people.
So here, give us a number, bro. Like, I know it's hypothetical and everything, but give us a number. Realistically,
you can't do it because if you sell your account will get banned, right? So you can't sell it.
I mean,
I
realistic.
think I just did give you a hypothetical number, right?
I mean, you told me 6 figures, right? Isn't that what you said?
Oh shit! It's a champ. I didn't see that.
So,
Not alpha.
but you're right though. Nobody's gonna pay 6 figures for that account. Just because, well, maybe I won't say nobody, but I want to say like 90% of the Wolf players don't have that kind of money just laying around where they can do that and not get, whooped by their wives.
I think we just killed it because
Yeah,
going to champs.
they're busy with the Entelodon champ.
Yeah. Yeah, and as it stands right now, I've got no interest in leaving the game. Like, I like the game at the moment. The game's got, there's things that do irritate me. The star system, as I say, irritates me. As we touched on, the potential people who have gained unfair advantage, cheated, grates me. But there's always something. Ultimately, I enjoy the game. There's a strange part of me that, although it irritates me, I quite like people assuming that I've cheated. I just take that as a compliment. I'm okay. It's like, okay, well, what I'm doing legitimately, people think can't be done, so they think I must be cheating. So there's a bit of a compliment in that. Can you imagine? Just imagine sort of how many times my account has been reported, and how many times my account has been checked.
Yeah, I mean,
A crazy number. It's probably been checked more than anybody's account, right? It just had.
yeah, yeah, I believe it. But yeah, dude. So, like, I mean, I get it. Ah, man. If only you knew, but I just won't go into that. But
No, the thing is, what you don't want to say, right, about things like that. Nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me in this game about what people are doing. I think it's a little bit harder at probably the higher end level. There clearly are people that shouldn't be. But the sort of cheating that you're talking about, I assume, is a little bit more rife. Lower levels where they can lose their account and start again.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like, you spent 250,000 on this wolf. You probably spent countless hours on this account. Your account's priceless, and literally, if somebody wants to they can make an account just as strong as you and still be in the server. Like, it's a hard, and not get banned, and it's like it's discouraging, knowing that, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that like if we go back to the cheater that I came across in domination, and I think that was the point. People say like, he's crying, crying, crying. What does that mean? It's not. It is. Maybe he is crying. The whole point of saying, hold on, you've got someone here cheating. Is that crying? You're in a game where people are legit, and you've got one person who can go immortal. Is that crying? Say they should be gone. And listen, that person's coming back, right? I got that person's account banned. They lost their account. They're probably really moody about it.
No, but they're not, dude. Because I'm telling you, they can make it in an instant, again, and they just
yeah, but they lose their, they're out there claiming they're the best hacker the world has ever seen, and then they get wiped out. And when they get wiped out, there's no like special links into anything. Do you know what I did? Just film, take all the data, all the proof, the times, and then go to support and say, here, there's a wolf here, ID doesn't show up, because it doesn't exist. It's running immortal skills. Here's the video, here's the proof, here's the time, here's the room. Give the developers all the data that they need, and they'll find it, and they'll wipe the account out. And then that's embarrassing for this mega greatest go in the universe. And then they come back. They do. They come back and create a new account. But you know what? Come across them again and film them again, they'll get banned again.
But here's the thing, Fred.
When it's as blatant as that.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the problem is he was purposely doing it to know that you're a hacker. Imagine how many people are doing it low key, and just doing it under the radar, and nobody's reporting them.
Yeah, you don't, and I think that person stood out more because of how many skills they had to spam to kill you, right? Whereas if they just spam, if they're a smaller account and one or two thunderbolts kills them, you don't notice it. It was obvious for me because with big HP, suddenly I was getting hit by, in a second, getting hit by 20 lightning strikes,
Yeah.
So it's obvious, but it may not be so obvious for other people that the cheating's going on. You're never going to find completely clean games anywhere. You're never going to find it.
I mean, like the thing is, if you're paying $250,000, bro, the problem is it's because it's a mobile game, But like, say you're playing a PlayStation game or Xbox, there's no hackers there, because there's no way somebody can really hack the codes or anything, And you're not even paying that much money, versus like.
I'm not sure you're right. I think there are. I think there are people cheating in some of these games. But yeah, look, mobile games obviously probably easier. But that doesn't. Listen, that's never going to change. There's always going to be there. There should be greater consequence for it, and the control should maybe be tighter. But they're always going to find a way around it. It should just be that the vulnerabilities and the cheaters are caught faster. I don't know how. I'm not techie. I don't know how it works, but I don't know how somebody can spam crazy amount of skills in a split second and not set off like automatic alerts or automatic system. Do something that's not possible in the game. How are you not wiped out instantly?
Right. No, and I agree. There's some things that just make sense, and that they, like, okay, if somebody's using Thunder, within 10 seconds, like, you guys should automatically trigger the anti-cheat system, right? If, a level 30 wolf has 190,000 moonstones or gems, that should automatically be a red flag, things like that. But yeah, it's not.
It should do as soon as anybody gains any kind of weird, unusual growth or any sort of gem amount or moon amount or coin amount is unusual.
Well,
even if it hits a list and is manually checked, but manually checked fast for someone to say, is that possible? And then you know that like 9 times out of 100, not someone cheating.
right. Well,
Um,
I'm telling you, it's
and
not even monitored at that level, bro. It's not.
which is, which is sad if that's the case. I say I don't know. It's really not an area that I have knowledge of or have expertise in. All I know is that when I see people, I try to report. I try to report. I've had fairly decent success in the past of proving that some people were eating, and they hate getting caught. They hate getting caught because they think they're all geniuses. Um, it's not something that, if you're really stressed by it, then like you do, you've got to kind of leave the game and say, okay, well, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I left the game. To be honest, um, it just happened so recently and stuff. But it's not like I quit forever, right? Like, I still have access to my accounts and everything. I just, I don't know, man. I gotta focus on something else. Um, but I was gonna
I
ask.
noticed, I, I noticed obviously that you weren't really active, and then you seemed to come back and you did a couple of streams here or there, and with some people recently, and it seemed like you were not back, but semi around, doing a few bits.
Yeah, well, I got away from YouTube a little bit just because, after streaming for 5 years or so, however long I've been doing it for, and really having no growth of improvement, like, like what am I doing? Like, why am I still, and, I used to do it just to enjoy it, but um, now I'm actually, it's kind of cool. I'm kind of like doing social. I'm monetized on social media, not on my account, but I own like this pretty big platform on social media where I get paid for like posts and things like that. So now I'm like focusing on that, and it's like, I rather focus on that and grind for real and make real money, and than to be, you know, playing the wolf and doing things for like, you know, $20 per month of of revenue.
I don't. Again, I don't know. I've never had any. I did. I've wondered a little bit sometimes what kind of money you make from just you, but in general. But it's not. It's something that I've never done, and pretty much think I ever would. I wouldn't necessarily. Oh shit.
What's your relationship with Rodrigo?
Don't have one.
You don't have one? Gotcha.
No.
He's like the pretty big streamer. So like him, I'm estimating that he makes maybe about like 30, 40 grand per year from streaming.
Really?
Yeah, they got.
The problem was I think it just like I've got you. I don't really use YouTube. I've subscribed to you, and I'll pop on and watch occasionally if I'm free. And when you do your interviews, I quite enjoy them and hear other people's takes on the game. But when I've sort of been, when there's been a link and followed on to watch something else, and I have say watched his stream, watching somebody else, the same person, just co-op or play is no interest to me. Like I could watch your video and you'll run around and follow, and I can watch out for people, and it's something different. But watching the same person do the same thing is of no interest to me personally. So that's not a kind of dream that I would tune in to watch. I think what you had or have, where you get people involved, I think is interesting, because whether people like that person or dislike them, people kind of want to listen and hear views and judge them on their views, or maybe you can learn stuff, maybe you don't. I've listened to people you've interviewed before, and I've kind of completely disagreed with what they're saying, but it's interesting. It's interesting to hear that different view set.
So I agree too, and that's why I started this segment, dude. But it's so hard to get people to interview, and then the thing too is my interview videos, they don't get a whole lot of views either, man. I don't think I have any interview videos that has hit over 1,000 views, and on YouTube, 1,000 views is like nothing. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of like just gave up on trying to do that. But that's just kind of like giving you insight about like what's going on with me to the other people. But I wanted to ask you too. Kind of keep this focused about you. How much time do I have left with you, bro? Oh, look, there's a champion here.
Yeah, we're cool. We can keep going. I don't know. I reckon most people have probably dropped off right now, right? But we can keep chatting.
So what happens with the live streams is people will leave, and then other people will come in, and then some people will come back, things like that. So right now, I mean, we got a pretty steady amount of people. We got 12 people. I think peak we hit was like 20 people at once. But most people they watch it later and things like that.
Yeah, I would say I do the same. If I've watched your videos, I don't necessarily, if I'm catching up, I wouldn't necessarily watch the whole thing either. Like I'd jump on and listen and then switch off. But definitely, if we ever did it again, I would have liked to have, and I'm not, I would have liked. Hold on, let me type it.
Hey, look, Tess said you feeding strays, Fred. Who's the stray? I wonder who's the stray. Am I the stray? How much?
I thought so. Tess a good long-term friend of mine.
Yeah.
And you see, she's got the Ferox name. One of the very few people who sort of runs Ferox without being badged up.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think about a dinosaur map?
How do you mean?
If the wolf came out with a dinosaur map, do you think it would be cool, or do you think it would take away from, the game and things like that? How would you feel about that?
No, I think it'd be alright. So different, like. I think it's hard to say like, oh, dinosaurs. That's not believable when we're running around with wolves that have like ice breath of us.
Well,
so we've got, if it was just an out and out biting, chewing, boring game, but we've got all these crazy skills. Why not have crazy animals? I mean, there's already certain animals, right?
Yeah, that are technically dinosaurs.
Classed as maybe technically dinosaurs or extinct animals and stuff. So they're already here. It's not good to us.
Yeah.
From I don't know what was the pose. Maybe the Auroch was the first one. The first sort of showed up that was an extinct animal. Maybe.
The first big one, yeah. But I mean, there was also mammoths, or no, mammoths weren't in there now, right?
No, I think maybe Auroch was first because I remember them putting Auroch on map 4.
Map 4.
On map 4 for a bit.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably the Aurochs that were the first extinct animals.
So that's just like an extinct cow, right?
Yeah.
So to me, if they make a map and it's got dinosaurs on it, what difference? I mean, what's this? What the fuck is a paracetamol? Like, this is...
Yeah,
Is this a dinosaur? I don't know. Is it a dinosaur? Is it...
I mean, it's technically considered just a mammal, right? It's not really like... But yeah, you could say that it's like a freaking, bronchosaurus or something.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that they're not hanging around world anymore. So if they bring dinosaurs in, the next map has to have. I suppose the next map has to have bigger and better animals, doesn't it? Again, or definitely points on this one.
All right, so I guess you're open to it then.
Yeah, I'm open to it. I think the disappointing thing about this map, this is one of my least favourite maps, right?
Really? Why?
In terms of the map itself and the scenery, but I also think they was a little bit lazy. Like, there is some unique animals, but there's so many animals doubled with other maps. A lot of them map 8, like the gore and the buffaloes and the bints, and there's so many animals here that are dual map. I think that's a bit lazy. That's just filler. when they're creating the map, they're like, okay, we've made enough animals for this month. Let's just steal some from another map.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, they were lazy about it. Even like the new ones, like the dark Paraceriterums, that's really just the same animal, just dark. You know? Oh crap. Let's see. Did I hang up? Let's see. I think we actually hung up.
map, I can tell you. I can tell you what my
Hey, you know what?
favourite maps are
What's your favorite map?
in in order. So I like 6. Scenic wise, I think 6 is a beautiful map.
Which one is 6? That's
Savannah.
Savannah. Okay.
And after the recent graphic changes, I would now put map 7 as probably the second. It wasn't, but I think the way they went around it with the graphics update, that became a really kind of beautiful map. I mean, it's a bit, sometimes you get a bit stuck.
Wait, 7
in the,
is... Which one is 7?
Tropical.
Tropical? Oh, yeah. Tropical. Oh, I hate Tropical, dude. I can't see anything in there.
No, well, this is the thing. A lot of people do hate it, right? Because it's the graphics came and they made it so dense, but it's tropical. It's a jungle, right? That's how it should. And I just think they made it a beautiful looking map. So they would kind of be my top 2. I like map 4, probably third. I like
4.
Legend a lot. I think that's a really good map.
I hate that one. I hate that one. Because you can't get around easily. Like, to get to the top, you gotta run all the way to the top, you know? And then they got that one
A
cul-de-sac.
little bit. I think.
You know?
I think I've got fond memories of map 4.
Yeah.
I've got fond memories of 4, and I spent a lot of time in 4 when it was the big map. And I like I'm talking about the art side of stuff, the scenery, the drawing of it. I like that style of the map. The worst map by far is map 2, Suicidal map. Like, it's depressing to have to go on to 2. Just blob of brown. And you talk about getting hard to get around a map. That one, they just stuck a giant effing rock in the middle of it that you can't. Someone calls champ and you have to run for about 3 minutes to get to it.
That's true.
That for me is the worst map. The colouring and all that is just, it's depressing. Dark Forest is a suitable name.
Yeah, even with the graphic update, it didn't really look that good either. Like, I mean, it's okay, but, you know, there wasn't really any improvements.
And then, you know, like the kind of, that's definitely the worst one for me. And then probably O's. After that, maybe map 3, and then Green Hills. Green Hills, fond of Green Hills because it's, you know, it was the map. It was the game. It was the map the game was based on.
Yeah, they do got to put bigger animals in there, though.
It's a little bit of a boring map, right? So apart from the sentimental value to playing it, it's a little bit boring. So that's down there at the bottom. But yeah, top 3, 6, 7, 4 in numbers. Savannah, Tropical, Legend. They're probably my 4.
All right, that's fair.
8's nice. 8 would be after that. 8's a nice map. It's quite an attractive looking map, I think. Quite enjoyable to play on.
What are your favorite animals to hunt?
Yeah, kill it all. Kill everything. Do you know, I've got friends in the game who go up heavy or big wolves, and they... Oh, my earphone's gone.
Your earphone's gone? I could still hear you.
Okay, I heard like a guarding issue. I'm alright. As long as you can hear me, just give me a shout if I go dead.
Okay.
You know, and they only hunt the big animals. They just want porks to these. And they hunt that style. Just big, 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 big.
Right.
You'd have noticed from co-oping with me now, like, I just eat everything. I don't care. I run around. I mean, I would say this is quite a slow, leisurely co-op.
You almost got 5 million. You would technically have almost like 9 million.
Yeah, I normally would be like 9 non-stop, like relentless, just go, 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 non-stop.
Well, it's nice that you have all that HP. For me, I always
Yeah,
got to.
4 point.
Yeah, with rage, you got 4.4. That's
No,
crazy,
I was
bro.
looking at the score. Yeah, 4.2 now, and that's at 50%, right? So, yeah, it would have been at 8.5
Yeah, pretty much almost
if it
9.
wasn't if it wasn't for the penalty.
Yeah, I'm at 1 million, and I haven't even been
These are
trying.
these are strong. These animals are strong. The tigers are strong.
Yeah, tigers. You know why they're always making the tigers so strong in the games, right?
Go on, hit me.
Huh?
Go on, hit me.
Oh, because of the tiger game. You know, um,
Yep.
because of the tiger game, so they want to pay homage to that game. So they want to make sure that like all the tigers on each map are like OP, right? It's kind of like if they put wolves in the tiger game, they would make sure that those wolves are like super strong. But
Um,
that's what I
I'll
think.
take your word for that one. um, yeah, when they go featured map 8, those tigers there on featured map 8, they're brutal. They're brutal.
Yeah.
Um, I like that element. I like the featured map element. I think that was a good invention. It's not the right word, but I think that was a good thing that they brought to the game. A good change to give us a chance to go to other maps, because otherwise, bigger wolves just always stay on the biggest map, right? You have to get the most coins. Having the featured map gives us a chance to visit some of the lower maps and still generate good coins.
I mean, I like it and I don't like it for me. So like, when I use my bigger wolf, I like it, right? Because it's not a big deal. But when you're using a smaller wolf, like sometimes it's nice to go into a smaller map and not have to struggle to kill animals. And now with the featured map feature, like say I'm using a 1K account, I'm constantly struggling in co-op 8 and 9, and then now my quests are in the featured map 4, I'm still struggling. And so I mean, it's there's two ways to look at it.
But
You know.
the struggles that should be the fun part of the game, right? The
Uh,
challenge.
I mean, so it's weird. So yes, so for a co-op wolf, yes, but like when you just want a PvP, you only co-op to do quests and to
Yeah.
get coins, and really after you're done with your quest, boom, you're in PvP. Um, so it's like almost like a chore doing quests as a small account. But that's just my
Yeah. No,
opinion.
I get that. But then it is that I'm mostly a solo wolf, right? I'm mostly hunt alone. But it is technically it's called co-op. Like we're supposed to cooperate with people and to kill. And you've obviously got this bonus that you get. I don't really know how that works either, but you get the share bonus when you're sharing
Yeah.
animals together.
Dude, it's nothing. The share bonus is nothing, dude. Have you ever like paid attention to how much you get?
Nah,
You get like
no.
200 you get like 200 EXP for sharing, which is nothing.
But once you're level 99,
Oh, you
you don't
don't
even pay
see.
attention to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's all about the coins.
So even the extra coins, they can't be that much. It could only be like 20 coins if they're only giving you 200 XP for sharing bonus.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I probably spend 80 as a guess, like 75-80% of my time hunting alone. Um, I'm happy to sort of be helping, pack members and friends when they want to join and stuff like that. But in general, when I sort of get randoms kind of tag along with me, I try and get away as best as I can. I'm not, and it's not. Don't know. People might think like, "Oh, fucking hell, idiot! Why would you want to be like that?" But I think I just like to kind of be alone. Like it's my chill out time. I'm the same why I like the game. It's my chill out time. It's veg out time. Um, maybe you can get more coins hunting in a group. That's not why I'm doing it. I doing it I am doing it for the coins, but I'm doing it for my enjoyment. You know. So if I'm eating, honestly, like if I'm eating a big animal and people sort of join in uninvited, more often than not, I just leave. Just let them finish it off. You know, they can kill the animal for me as far as I'm concerned. I'll just go. But it's different if it's friends, people I know, or if people ask. I think that's the big one. Is like if someone joins you and says like, oh, you know, do you mind if I tag along or can I steal some sort of coins from you? Like, no problem. It's when it's just done, when people just join in, like they've got kind of right to just join you. That's when I just try and get away.
Do you run into a lot of toxic players in in co-op?
Yeah, because they get irritated by my gameplay. So people expect the alpha to. Listen, I try and share every champ I can. I don't steal champs. I sometimes kill some by mistake. But if I'm alpha, I want to be alpha. But if I'm alpha, I don't share champs. But that's about the only pulls I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And you know, some people are in the room and they want you to pull for all the bigs, or you know, so that they can get their piece. And that's just not my hunting style. Like I just want to eat them on my own.
Right.
And get on. And pulling and waiting for people is actually quite slow. That doesn't fit with my style of just run and eat everything. You know, the whole, well, we've done it a few times on the stream tonight, you know, bring people for the challies and things like that. But that's not what I do in my day-to-day co-op. And people go like, idiot alpha, and I just laugh.
Yeah.
Idiot alpha won't pull. And people say, oh, can you pull for the bigs? I'm like, no, can't. I'm eating them. Like, good luck. There's endless rooms. Go somewhere else. I'm such a bad alpha. I don't want to be alpha. I just end up alpha.
Well, that's the problem too. When you port for bigs, then they all follow you, you know, and then you can't even co-op by yourself.
Yeah. So listen, I know that people get irked by it, and people say, oh, you should help the small accounts, whatever. But you know, hit or miss. If a small account asks me for help, I'll help them. But in general, just want to like, not a big champ.
That is a champion.
I just want to do my own thing. You know, that's why I play the game, do my own thing in co-op. I just want to get my coins, chill out, and then when I'm fed up in co-op, I'll go to bed or go and play a different game, or you know,
Yeah.
anything but go to the casino.
Oh man. Do you have FanDuel or anything like that?
Say that again.
So FanDuel is like a betting app in America. I don't know what you got. Do you have anything like that? No, you don't do that.
I still gamble now, but mostly sort of sports gambling. I gamble on what I call football. I gamble on sports. Don't really. I used to play, you know, like the poker tournaments online and in person, go to casinos and play poker. But the killer for me was outright casinos, like hitting roulette and blackjack tables, and that was, you know, for every good day you have a lot of bad ones.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I have. I went to Vegas for boxing and hit up. My actual experience of Vegas was brilliant because I went with family, like 3 generations. I went out there with like my dad, my grandfather, and to have like 3 generations go to Vegas kind of together.
That's cool.
All kind of gambling kind of people, and yeah, that was like my granddad passed a couple of years ago, but that's sort of it's a memory that sits with me, you know, for my dad and his dad, you know, for us to all be in Vegas together. That's sort of one of the best memories I've actually got for family
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry about your granddad, but
to give
is that a champion? Oh, that's a champion.
Yeah. Give the age away in the year that I went out there. It was to watch Mike Tyson fight.
Oh wow! Damn,
Yeah.
that's epic.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I mean, I was young. I was young when I went out there. may go back. I think, doing that sort of thing, like saying, do you know what, I'm going out to Vegas and I'm taking a budget with me and I'm just going to go and gamble for, 5 or 6 days in Vegas and then move on somewhere else. I would do that. It's not like I'm cold turkey on gambling. I love gambling. Love it. Gambling and alcohol. I think most people that know me from Wolf and when I'm playing know that, like, I'll chill out in the evening and I like drinking good whiskies. I enjoy a good wine. Quite an extensive alcohol collection at home. There's always plenty of good alcohol around in my place. Good tequilas and stuff. Like I drink. I'm sort of quite fortunate that even though I drink regularly, my tolerance to alcohol is quite low, so I don't have to drink a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Like, I can have a few drinks and then be like, well, okay, time to go to bed, sleepy. But yeah, I enjoy it. Gambling, alcohol, cars, all those vices, cars,
Yeah.
women, all that stuff.
Women. Hey, speaking of women's. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you.
Don't go down that line.
Huh?
I was gonna say, don't go down that line.
Nah. Oh man, but I'm sure everybody would want to know, bro.
No, we can talk gambling. You can talk drugs. If you want drugs, I don't do any drugs. I used to smoke. I'm 18 years clean on smoking. Well, actually 18 years later this month. I used to be quite a heavy smoker, like pushing 40 a day.
Yeah.
Quit, went cold turkey on that, and never went back to smoking. No other drug, just alcohol. No other drugs. Don't dabble in anything like that. Just give me some ice, a splash of whiskey or a rum and coke, and that's all the pleasure I need.
Hey, have you ever ran into anyone who plays the wolf in real life? I feel like nobody does.
Run into them, like just random people.
Really?
Or like I've met people from Wolf.
But I mean, like maybe, like not that you set it up. I mean, like that's a part two of a question. But I mean, just like, oh, you played a wolf? Oh yeah, me too. Like,
Haven't in that sense, but I did see someone sitting on a train once playing it.
No way.
And I'm going back a few years, good few years. This was before I took my break, and I remember sitting on the train, and there was 2 people next to me, and I could see their phone screen, and I could see that they was playing Wolf on the train, and I was like, wow. And I think that's the first sort of just random. Oh yeah, I play that game as well.
Did you?
My nephew. I was at my sister's house, and my nephew had it on his phone, and he had a lot. He had like tiger, cheetah, wolf. I was like, oh, okay, nephew's playing it. But other than that, yeah, not really random.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be pretty cool for you to run into someone and like, yeah, I'm Fred. But
yeah, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know. I think that's what I was thinking at the time with the guy on the train. I couldn't see what his wolf was like, whether he was big or small or what. But it was just, I just found it slightly humorous that they were sitting there playing it in public.
I mean, I would have struck a conversation with him, to be honest, dude. Like, I know everybody.
Public transport in the UK is not great.
Oh no.
Trying to avoid talking to people.
I mean, they can't be that. Well, actually, never mind. I was gonna say they can't be that bad if they're playing the wolf, but like I feel like even like the weirdest people on the wolf, if you meet them in person and you tell them I played a wolf, you're automatically gonna strike like some kind of amicable, relationship just because, who else can you talk to about that?
I think, are they going to want my help here for the tiger, or we just leave them to it?
I mean, we could go.
I don't know. It probably depends on the people, doesn't it? But getting away from random people, I've met quite a few people from Wolf in person.
Like you guys made
Um,
a decided to like meet up or something?
yeah, just agreements, like, friends, people you've known for a long time, and you're like, okay, well, we'll meet up. Last year, I did some travelling, and I went to. I was away for about a month, I think, just under a month, and I went to Korea and I went to Taiwan,
Nice.
and in both places I met friends um, who helped me like with my travels a little bit as well. It's great to know people local,
Yeah.
um, and that was a lot of fun because they're people that you know purely through the Wolf, and then you get to put the real face and the real person to it, and then see I'm UK based in England, and I've met a couple of people locally in England who are just friends. Um,
Have you ever met
I think it's
ever?
quite nice because people no,
No.
haven't. I
No.
think she's I don't know if I expose all this. I'm sure she exposed herself, but she's a woman, and I don't think I'm not sure meeting random men on the internet falls into the married woman category. But Emma's a really, really good friend of mine. We had a relationship on the game for a little bit. We just
Wait, you guys were
she's
met?
like my best friend in terms of we did the. It depends how you want to say it. We did the mate thing in game.
You did the
You
mate
know?
thing? Oh my god. You did do
Yeah.
the mate. Oh, that's so. Alright, well, I mean, I've done it too before.
Um, but she's just like she's my best friend, and in this game, she's pretty much the person I trust the most, and she's probably the person who looks out for me the most. Um, you know, um, and I think a couple of years ago, she did some meetings with a few of her friends, and I was invited as such. Like, do you want to go? But it wasn't the right time for me to be in America.
Ah,
Um,
she's in America?
if I go to the States, yeah, if I go to the States at any point over the next couple of years, which I would like to, I was thinking about it potentially March, April next year. Like, I've got a list of people that I'd like to chat with and have a drink with, because some of my friends here, like, they're just really, really funny people, and you can meet some amazing people online that you would never cross paths with if it wasn't for the internet.
Dude, you
And
you
personally, I think it's cool to turn that into a real life meeting, and, turn it away from pixels. Okay, we're friends, and if you can enjoy someone's company online, you can probably enjoy it in person, right?
dude, that would be like super cool for the Wolf to do something like this where now obviously they'll probably need a lot of security, right? Cuz who knows what kind of drama is going on, but if they made like a meet in real life convention place where there's all the developers and anybody can fly out there to go and and dude, that would be super cool.
Well, the Rage Quit team, I've seen them. The Rage Quit team do the road shows and the big events, right? I've seen them post at the event. So as a player, you could go and meet the team, I guess, if you
I
wanted
mean,
to.
yeah, but then not the other players. I mean, like somewhere where like actual like players are invited and it's like a whole event, right? I think it'd be cool. You know,
Um, it might be. I don't know. You'd have to ask a lot of people if they would go if that sort of thing.
dude, they wouldn't go.
What, as in, like an official event? I don't think they'd ever do it.
They wouldn't do it, but I mean, I think it
Just
would be cool.
I just think it's cool that if you've got friends online and you get an opportunity to meet them, you might only, if it's travel related in different countries, you might only get one opportunity to meet that person in face. Like, might only be once. You might only go to their country once in your life, and so if you've got an opportunity to go and meet up and say, yeah, why not do it? I haven't had a bad experience out of it. The people I've met who are my friends online, when I've met them in person, I've had a great time. I've enjoyed their company. They've been fun experiences. So I will probably continue to do the same thing.
I mean, dude, I would love to meet people in real life, but some people are so private, man. So private. Like,
Yeah, they are, and I think if someone's really really bright, yeah, that's it's up to them, isn't it? Then they're not going to want to meet. Um, if I where are you based? If I come to America, I'll if I'm ever in your neck of the woods, I'll give you a chance to go and have a beer with me somewhere.
for sure. I'll show you where to have the beers, bro. But yeah,
I've always got a habit of finding good places to have a drink. And yeah, I'll find them.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
did you
like,
say you're Chicago based?
yeah, I'm Chicago. I'm like suburbs of Chicago, so like I'm like 20 minutes away from Chicago. So I'm not literally in Chicago. I'm like 20 minutes away. I just say Chicago because if I tell people the suburb I live in, people are like, huh? You know? But yeah, I'm like 20 minutes away from Chicago. But yeah, if you ever come, man, you're more than welcome, man. You have to.
I think if you travel and you go into a strange country and you're traveling, you know, I like my beach holidays and stuff like that. But if you're going to travel and do a little bit of exploration, the best way to see the real play is to know someone locally. If you know someone locally, give you a few pointers, show you a few places, like you get to see the real play as opposed to just what you would find as a tourist.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. You would know. No, you're right. Because yeah, you even Vegas. When I went to Vegas, I feel like I missed out on so much. There's so many things going on there, you know. And if I had a tour guide or somebody, you know, they could kind of show me what's going on and things like that.
I wanted to go. The last time I wanted to go out to Vegas big time was when Brittany was out there doing her long session. I've got a little bit of a secret. Not much of a secret, but I'm a bit of a Britney fan.
Like Britney Spears.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Like when she was, I don't think she does it anymore, right? But so when she was doing her residency in Vegas, I'd love to have gone and seen her live in Vegas. You know, some people want to go and see like I don't know Elton John or something. Like I've got no interest in seeing Elton John.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what Britney's doing nowadays.
She crops up on. To be fair, I know we've not mentioned him for a while. We've come off, but John always used to show me some weird videos of her. I think she's not completely balanced mentally, and he used to show me some random clips of her doing weird stuff in her house, like dancing with her house.
Yeah, dancing with like a knife or whatever, or things like that.
She's a strange one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what Hollywood and fame will do to you. Help make you go crazy, man.
But yeah, back to the travel. I think America is not on the agenda, but I kind of want it to be on the agenda for next year to do something in the States. I've got a little bit of a property project going on now, and I'm hoping February, March time that the place will be up for sale or sold, and then once that's done, probably take a little bit of a break and try and get around somewhere for a bit. See a part of the world again.
Yeah. What do you do for work, man? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, do two things. So I'm a qualified. I don't know how to call it. I'm qualified for the legalities of freight. Okay, so I can advise on advise on where companies are going wrong in the transportation of goods before they're audited as such. It's better for a company to find out themselves what they're doing wrong before something goes wrong or before they get audited by their governing bodies.
Right.
And then beyond that, I do property stuff. I try and buy, sell, flip, that kind of thing. Um, a little bit of share stuff. I'm sometimes employed, sometimes self-employed. Depends. I just recently came out of a sort of an employed role with a domestic freight carrier, and I was on sort of rolling contracts with them, and then decided that I needed this Christmas off. So October, November, December, kind of put my own project back on the agenda again to work on the properties and think about getting one of them ready for sale.
Nice.
I'm a bit down on this country, man. The UK. I don't want to go deep on politics, but I'm not sure this is where I want to spend the rest of my life. Quite anti the UK at the moment, so kind of want to be a little bit open to looking around if there's potential to be somewhere else.
I mean, the good thing is your work, you could definitely do it except for the real estate part, but you could kind of do the consulting remotely, right? Kind of.
Yeah, you can do, depending on what it is. Depending on what it is, you can do a lot of the paperwork side of it, but there's some inspections. I'm quite flexible on all that kind of stuff. Sometimes a lot of the. Oh, what was it? Let's see what it was I got.
Dude, bro, we just hit 3 hours, almost 3.5 hours on the stream already. Oh, congratulations on the fossil.
I got my fossil. Sometimes, like working in transport freight, I've worked for most of the UK domestic carriers, like the names you'll know, and I've worked for them, and it just sometimes things just open up. Like people say, "Oh, do you want to come work for me here and do this, do that?" Find it hard to stick to something long term. I get kind of bored, so I quite like the short term contracts with people.
Oh, that's nice.
The last one, I took a 3-month contract, and it actually ended up extending out to 2 years.
Oh, jeez.
And now, and that was it. September, the end of September, I was like, I'm worn out, tired, I've had enough. Let's take a little bit of a break. Let's get back to co-op. Do that.
There you go. I'm actually right now on my own break. Technically, I used to be selling cars for a company, and yeah, I quit probably like a month ago, and now I'm just relaxing at home, doing that social media stuff. But yeah, really just not really doing anything.
If you're in a position, and I'd say this to anyone, if you're in a position to quit a job or to leave a job when things are not right, it's such a nice position to be in when you're like, yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
If you're dependent on that salary to pay your bills, feed your kid, whatever, I get it. You've got to tough it out. If you're in a position where when things are not great, that you can just go, I think that's nice. There's a really nice feeling to kind of saying, no, I'm done. See you later.
Yeah.
I like it. I've had jobs in the past where I've quit because they wanted me to work on my birthday, and I'm like a big kid. I'm like, no, I don't work on my birthday.
Yeah.
And if you're in a position where you're fortunate enough to say, okay, I'm not going to be a slave to the job, it is a nice feeling to say, all right, maybe in a more polite way, but stick to your job, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean yep. I mean I wasn't always in that position, but I saved up, and now I have I could technically take a whole year off. I'm not going to, but I'm actually just working on my online stuff, because hopefully that can take off. But
I worked it's actually one of my first jobs. I actually worked in a casino.
No way.
And I didn't do long. I did like 8 or 9 months, and it was coming round to that Christmas period, and my birthday's in December, and they hit me with this kind of rota. And casinos are quite relentless, right? A lot of them are open 24 hours or crazy hours.
Right.
And I remember they hit me with this rota and said, okay, look, basically I was working every day by Christmas Day. Like, I'm working Christmas Eve, I'm working New Year's Eve, I'm working New Year's Day. They'd hit me with everything. And they kind of said, look, it kind of happens like that. Your first year, the new kid in the door always gets the shit rota. And And I went, okay. And I looked at it, and it had me working on my birthday. And I said, look, that's fine. I'll do all them days, no problem. But I'm not working that day. Um, and they said, you got to. I said, well, I'm not gonna. And they went, well, if you don't, you'll get sacked. So I said, okay, I quit. And I just left. I'm like, okay, well, it's their loss because I was going to do all them other days. I just needed the one day off, chill out on my birthday. I don't ever do anything on my birthday either. I just like to do nothing, but I do not want to be working on my birthday.
Right.
Stay at home, see family, probably grab a dinner. We normally do a family dinner thing, you know. I don't do anything exceptional, but I don't want to be at work.
No, I
It's
get
not
it.
my cup of tea.
Yep. No, I
I
get
remember
it.
that feeling of getting in the car and you just quit. And people were like, mad. And they don't even believe you at first. The people that you work with or your colleagues, they think you're joking. And you go to walk out and you're like, yeah, I just quit. And they're like, what? Yeah. Couldn't have my birthday off, I quit. And so yeah, I think that's a nice thing to throw.
It is a good feeling. All
Are
right.
are you wrapping up?
Yeah, Fred.
It's
I
a
think
long one.
it's time to wrap up. I do got one more
So
last. What?
I've hit 5 million. You've nearly hit 2. So
That's
that's a 10 million co-op score for me, really.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, that's pretty nice. And to be honest, I wasn't even really trying to co-op. That's just at the end I started just messing around. But half of
yeah.
the time I was just watching you. But here, I got one last question for you. I got one last question for
Go on
you
then.
before we go, all right? All right. So, It's Blue's probably going to watch this stream, right? What is one thing that you want to say to him and the company? Um, you know, that it could be anything. You know, you could tell him to go f off. No, I'm just kidding. I'll get you in trouble.
I
But
think,
one thing that you could tell
like,
him.
like I say, I'm not hugely negative on that element. Like I do think it's a tough job to keep such a wide range of players happy, right? This game stretches from those, like I said, the people starting off. You've got people starting off through to people that have played the game for 8 years. Like, it's tough to keep everybody happy.
Right.
I think it's that element that we touched on, whereas if someone's cheated, they should be gone. For me, that's it. There should be a zero tolerance to it. The big one for me. And like highlight reel of the things we spoke about. I feel quite strongly about the competition thing. I feel strongly about the stars element, the evolve element. To me, those items they need looking at, and they need adjusting or tweaking because they're clearly not right, and I think they're not right for bigger wolves, and a lot of people don't care about that, but I'm a bigger wolf and I do care about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay,
that
that's
would
good.
be me.
Okay.
That would be my ask of the development team.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. This is by far not only the longest interview, but the longest stream I've ever done. Yeah. Usually I only do like an hour, 2 hour at the most. So
Yeah, I thought we'd probably do 2 hours. It's been fun. Like for me, I enjoy it. I have real difficulty talking. I kind of forget sometimes it's not just me and you talking. I enjoy jumping on like Discord with someone and co-oping because I play on a phone. Typing in game when you're on a phone is a disgrace. You can't read it.
yeah,
So I like the idea of just co-oping to talk to someone so yeah, time's gone fast. Been a long one.
yeah,
I've missed a whole bunch of messages from people, and like I say, I regret a little bit that I couldn't see the chat and maybe respond to some of the chat in YouTube Live, but maybe we do it again next year at some point. Maybe I'll be more prepared for it.
yeah. I mean, trust me, dude. I haven't been able to read any of the messages either. But yeah, they're definitely in there. So whenever the stream loads up and stuff, the live chat will come up, and then you'll be able to kind of see what people were saying.
Roll through 3 hours of it.
Some guy said, "Holy crap! What do you do for work, Fred?" I guess that's when they found out that you spent $250,000 on your wolf. No, there's a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
man.
we've already kind of touched that, so I'm
Yeah,
technically unemployed right now.
technically
If someone
unemployed.
out there wants to give me a job, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, thanks for having me. I'd say it's been many years that we sort of spoke about jumping on and doing it, and I hope it's not been too boring for people.
Nah.
Um, and yeah, thank you for having me, and I hope we do get to, obviously not too soon because people won't be interested, but hopefully if there's some changes in game again, maybe we do a couple more shorter ones.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool if like, if well, I'm trying to quit the wolf and streaming, but I was saying, it'd be cool if you could just tap in anytime I live stream and just talk a little bit. That'd be cool too, man. Not even an interview, just
Yeah,
you know.
I try to. I've got you set up now that the notifications come on, and if I am at home and it comes up, I always try to get on and kind of say hello or something.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. One thing that I would tell you, I don't
Yeah,
know the situation, but I would say, hey, man, you should talk to John. Try to work it out with him. He sounds like he's still upset about it, but it also sounds like it was just a
yeah.
misunderstanding, and he probably still wants to be part of Ferox, man. Because if not, he wouldn't have hopped on to say this.
No. Ferox is. I know we still go on again. Ferox is Ferox, and it's not live in a gaming sense, but people that are Ferox are kind of always Ferox, and John will always be Ferox, and John is. Listen, haven't I don't have huge. I haven't got like any huge issues with John. I still think John's quite a cool person. I think what he did was uncool, and I think he's been on a sort of a little bit of an attention-seeking mission, not just tonight. Like there's been posts on Instagram and stuff like that. But John's a grown man, and he's free and entitled to think what he wants. And he made his choice to leave, and and we kind of made our choice to not be that bothered by that.
Gotcha.
But I haven't got a huge issue with John. Like I still quite like John. Me and John agree on a lot of stuff. I think just this issue was something that we don't agree on.
Gotcha.
That is sometimes strong characters, and I think anyone who knows John will know he's probably a strong character and quite stubborn and sort of potentially so am I. That sometimes people different views. There is no middle ground. You butt heads. You have a different view, and that's it. So listen, from my part, there's nothing negative towards John. I think that I would have liked to have seen the chat today to see how bad the comments were.
Oh,
I've only been able to go on what you've told me.
It wasn't bad.
I'm gonna put that down to again a little bit of attention seeking and stuff. He wants an audience,
Yeah.
and he got one. Fair play.
Cool, man. Alright, bro. Well, I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate you so much, dude.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hop off the game, but I'm probably gonna jump back on shortly after.
No way. you're
Uh,
you're crazy for that.
maybe PvP time.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been
Yeah,
so fun watching you PvP. I'd have to spot block you, but it would have been fun to watch you. Maybe that's what we'll do next time.
maybe in the future. Yeah, maybe we try and do something, even if it's a FXR family kind of PvP war, and we do. You can come in and fight, or we do a spot block either side, like do a 3v3 or something.
Dude, that would be cool.
But we'll put that on the agenda.
For sure. For sure.
One for the future. All right, man. I'm out.
Alright, take care, Fred.
Thanks for the platform. Take
Thanks,
care.
bro. Bye. And there you guys have it, guys. The number one wolf, the most legendary wolf player in the world, and that's like undeniable by far. Numbers don't lie. That was Fred for you guys. I want to thank Fred for tuning in and for allowing me to, put him on my platform, talk to him, and things like that. I do see Fred as like a celebrity in the wolf, so the fact that he doesn't, carry himself in that way where he doesn't feel he's like too big to hop on and talk to me, I appreciate that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody who gave donations. That was unexpected, and I appreciate y'all so much. And then Yeah. I'll go live again probably later this week. Talk to you guys about what's going on with me and things like that. Um, but until then, I love everybody. Appreciate y'all.